That's cringe. I imagine this is going to be another disaster flop show, if I had to guess.
Mm-hmm.
They always are. They always in the same. They've reached the point now where they just blatantly attack the audience because they're not even interested in profits. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. They've given up. They're done. They're done with bothering. Why bother? They can get away with it anyways. That's cringe. Why do I hear myself in the past? Arch?
I don't know.
Wait.
Wait.
You're responsible.
Hold on.
Why do I hear myself?
Chat? Chat, have you not been Okay. Right, I think what is happening. Okay. We've been streaming for like the last 7 minutes.
What?
I think YouTube fucked up.
Why do I hear myself?
What are you doing?
Close that. Oh, okay, I guess I had the stream open. So we just only went live recently.
Right.
Oh my god.
Okay, yep. No, that's not our fault, chat, this time. That I can't even blame Kyle for that one. That was YouTube. We've been here for a while now.
Oh my god, we're talking to nobody. What the oh, don't say anything bad. Okay, don't say anything bad. Okay, now explain the intro part again, because now we have to explain that to them. Thank you, YouTube.
God damn it.
We talked to ourselves.
Okay, so I was wondering why chat was so quiet. And I was looking over and I was like, the chat was like, late. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hey,
we're speaking.
Wait, remember the beginning of the stream? I was like, wow. That was so weird. I was like, why do I hear ourselves? What do I hear? That's great. I had a little bit of a squeak there.
God damn it. And it's retarded.
So YouTube did what exactly? You hit the live... I mean, there might be a lot of stream traffic right now, actually. It is, you know... I almost said Halloween. It is, gosh darn it, chat. You know better. You know better. Are we live now? We're good?
I hope so. There we go. Right. We'll start this from the top then, I guess. As we're going to talk about year of entertainment. And we're going to start this with peak 2022. Okay. We all know that entertainment has been awful for quite a few years. But I think this little trailer here from HBO Max really exemplifies everything that has been wrong with the current year.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Shall we get this over with the second time? All right. Brace yourselves, chat.
Dear HBO Max, I just learned you intend to make a genre-bending comedic origin story of Judy Jetson. When I heard this new version of Judy Jetson wouldn't be boy crazy, the only word I had to describe my disgust is jinkies. If there is one thing the internet agrees on, it's that you should never change anything ever. I hope you die. Sincerely, Velma. Well, at least Judy's still white. Unknown caller.
Right.
Spooky.
You can pause it there.
Yep. That was, at least she'll still be white. Yeah, okay. Yep. See, I have to re-say everything I just said. So, what I said before, and what I'll say again, that's just the writers right there being assholes. Like, they're just like, oh, we race swapped Velma, by the way, and we also don't care. Fuck you, is what they're doing. Because they're no longer hiding what they're doing anymore, these writers. They're just doing it because they can, and there's literally nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. That is just an enormous middle finger presented right there to the audience. Just in case for some reason you didn't already know that you were an object of pure hatred for them.
See, the big thing there is just the way they do it and how blunt they are. Because that section where they like, at least she's still white, like it's like, yep, they know what they've done, and they're doing it out of spite and hatred.
Oh, absolutely. And then they turn it into a joke where they present it to the audience like, hey, fuck you. It is... This is actually peak 2022. Like, this is peak cut year entertainment, and no doubt about it.
Yep. It's just awful. And you know what? Fuck them. This is going to be another one of those flops that's just going to come out and no one's going to watch it, and it's just going to absolutely face plant. Because they don't even care about selling this stuff anymore. It's not about selling it. That's not about making a profit.
No, it isn't. It is about making the point, because the point is far more important to them. On the bright side, I don't mind... Okay, normally, I'm quite fond of brown girls. This is not a brown girl. I don't know what it is. This is some kind of, like, weird thing. I don't like this particular shade. And I also hate that it's Velma. Like, why the fuck Velma? Of all the characters, why Velma? Why? What is the reason for this? What is the point of this?
Why do it? And that's the thing
Velma,
you have to ask yourself, yeah.
The name, too. Velma Dinkley. It's a classic African-American name, isn't it? Oh.
It's
also,
terrible.
the Jetsons suck, by the way. Just to point that out.
The Jetsons?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I saw that as a kid. Like, but that was ancient even when I was a child. And yeah, it does suck. It's cringe.
It does suck, yes.
It's awful. I mean, most of those shows from like the 70s or whatever are terrible. The 70s or 80s, I don't even know. They're just really bad.
Luckily, Blood Origins came out and has put the final nail in the coffin of at least fantasy. So, hopefully, now that everything is finally going to die horribly and screaming, we can forget all of this ever happened. And in another decade, we might get something good again.
Maybe. We might.
Maybe. Right. Since we missed it, because for some reason YouTube wasn't streaming, I'll go through the... we've got a bunch of like early super chats. I'll go over those first, since we're here, and in the spirit of the new year, etc. Troy Neenan says, with Commodore being a soul cage, wouldn't that mean there are countless human Xeno soul shards floating around? Could it be a big either 2 scenario? Possibly, but the Dark Eldar do eat their souls, so they are probably much reduced. And he also says, as each stone fortress being a prison for Void Dragon, did Abaddon release a Catan fragment when he blew up Cadia? I believe actually there was fragments of the Catan on Cadia, but the Catan fragment works in derpy ways, and we don't even know how they work anymore, because the Void Dragon isn't supposed to be fragmented, and yet there are fragments of the Void Dragon, even though he's trapped on Mars. Because the Necrons have been reworked like 7 times. That's why.
Oh my goodness.
Alex Hoffman says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Alex. Here is to a great next 2023. May all get wealthy and stay healthy.
Very nice.
And wealth. Mark Shane says, so the stream just started, Kibbs failed. Yes, we'll just blame him. It's fine.
What you just said earlier wasn't my fault.
Yeah, but I retract that.
He's like, I've changed my opinion on the
With
whim.
extreme prejudice. Elsie Serrano says, who's the horse's ass on screen? That's not Brony Gibbs. I know, he's being soft and weak and not putting himself out there.
The
These Streamlab icons are
ends...
still balked, chat. That's why we have them and they light up, but they don't animate anymore.
Yep. Dinko got us a nice little patch so that they're running. You can thank, I don't remember, was it Discord or Streamlabs? One of the two, maybe both. The recent patch sort of busted a lot of things.
Yes, they did. Anglo says, don't just wish for a happy new year, make it so. Well, we can by continuing to do what we've already been doing, frankly. Like, Blood Origin was an enormous fucking disaster, and, well, just like the Rings of Power. Like, this is what needs to be done. You need to, well, review bombing is a term that's used when it's fake reviews. In the case of Blood Origins, you can just go and give your honest opinion, and that will be worth and damaging enough.
That's true.
A&T says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, A&T. Jamie Armstrong says, Black Velma, not human trafficking, just adult friend. I don't even know. God. It's like, okay, so you decide to make a spin-off series about Velma. Of all the fucking characters. Right. Weird enough. And then it's just, oh, we're going to make her black. Why? Because I think they might think themselves that this is PR. For some reason, they're like, oh, people will totally hear about it now. Yeah, they will. And they'll instantly hate you for it. Like, this isn't the early 2000s anymore, where people will give you a chance. This is an automatic nope.
Yeah, they've burned that bridge already. And too many people are not going to tune in, even like people that watch this, because they literally just gave you the middle finger, and they gave the fandom middle fingers at the beginning of things.
They did. Maranga2 says, invite Sargon here. He's streaming now. I know. He, like, 5 minutes before he was going to start streaming, he puts a message in our super secret conspiracy chat. And it's like, hey, anyone want to do a stream with me? I'm like, Sargon. Sargon. And he just looks at me puppy-eyed. Like, Bert, I gave you warning. 5 minutes, Sargon.
5 minutes? Advanced warning should not be 5 minutes or the second of. Advanced warning is simply just, hey, giving a day's heads up. Like, hey, you free tomorrow or something like that? Old man syndrome.
He might pop on here for a moment, and I might go on there too after we're done here, because he's an old British man. He needs the company.
Sad, old, indeed.
Be mean to him now whilst you have the chance.
Yep, we'll have to start all over again next year.
Yep. Animate Acumen says, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year's. Scott the Kilt, hey Arch, working on my novel and nearly done with the outline. Going to start the World Atlas. Might try Incarnate, but there is any map-making site software you'd recommend? Many thanks. Honestly, I don't mind Incarnate. Incarnate is pretty good. I've used it a little bit. It's a decent software. It could have more stuff in it, but if you're going to make maps, it's probably a very good thing.
Is Incarnate a paid-for subscription service?
Yes.
Don't use that. If you're actually writing lore, just actually simply use like fucking Paint or something. Start off simple and then just commission an artist to do it proper. You're gonna save a lot of money and a lot of headache if you do it the right way. And I say that from experience. Well, you literally take a piece of paper, take a picture of it. Like literally, it's that simple. You're burning money by giving it to like people like that. Because if you're writing an actual proper universe, then you're gonna want it to be properly done. And so you should get a proper artist to go over and actually make, your little scribbles into a beautiful, large-scale, wonderful map. Sort of like what Tolkien did. In fact, that's exactly what Tolkien did.
Cruel than usual. Mark James says, so I took a trip to Troll Country, which is any place north of me, so Canada. But in relations to the old world, would Norway be Troll Country? Yes, because we literally invented them. And that's all you need to know. Trolls are a Norwegian invention. Literally.
Disgusting.
We made them. We own them. They are our intellectual property.
I think Disney has a few things to say about that. And so does Games Workshop. And every other IP that's stolen them.
I don't think GW or Disney has anything to say here. Maranga2 says, did Blood Origins ever acknowledge that elves genocided the lizardmen? No, they did not. But Blood Origins never acknowledged that the elves were one race, either. Lucian says, be better, Kibbs. Those classic cartoons were fun. I don't know. The Jetsons were not fun. I condemn the Jetsons.
Many of those old cartoons are just trash. Like, I'm sorry. Your old shit is garbage. Like, give me the fucking Samurai Jack or fucking, like, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Give me a real cartoon. An actual one that I can care about. Jetsons? No. Fuck off.
Yes, they were better cartoons. They absolutely were. Much, much better cartoons. Much cartoons more worthy of your passion. Yes, yes. Real Holsnader says, it's getting bad when the critics and actors are starting to say, no, this is crap. Well, some of them are, but no, ironically, we are beginning to see again the turnaround hitting the mainstream fully, finally. It's taken many years. We've seen it happening and beginning to happen for quite some time, but it's finally starting to pick up some real pace, and I'm very, very happy to see it. When they all die, there might finally be something else, something new, something good, maybe. Or there might just be a new wave of shit. Who knows?
They'll just relaunch themselves, but they'll be less woke, or they'll just be mediocre, and people will praise them for it. Be like, well,
Well, honestly, unironically, that is a possibility that they will just reboot things, but make it not woke this time, and use that as a specific selling point, and it would probably work out very well. Like, if He-Man, for example, if He-Man announced that they are going to do a reboot of He-Man, but explicitly say that it's going to be a non-reboot, and the guy making it basically like, okay, you know that awesome trailer they made? We're gonna just do that instead of the wokies garbage. That would probably be a success. And the thing is, the hashtag our side would embrace it and push it specifically for that reason, because we need to. Simple as.
Yep. Even an okay show that isn't woke should be promoted purely on the basis of the fact that it wasn't woke. And other corporations and, Suits will see that and be like, that's where the money is, that's where we're going to go. Because Suits follow the money.
Speaking of, Kyle, I'm so glad you said that, because now I can shove something down your throat.
What? That's so...
Here, Kyle, their first Steam link of the day.
Okay, well...
I'm so glad you said that, Kyle.
We're gonna take turns then, you sick fuck. And then we're gonna be... It's my turn next. That's how this is gonna be.
Something mediocre should be lauded, because at least it's not bad. Well, Jedi Survivor, Kyle.
Hold on, I gotta open it. I closed all my tabs so I didn't hear echoes of myself in the past. Hold on, chat. You'll see it in a second. Past Kibbs is annoying me always. Alright, let's see. This is a game that I just kind of... Now that's just it's such a fucking... Ew, disgusting! Alright, fine, I pulled it up, you little shit.
There you go. The sequel to Jedi Fallen Order with the blandest anime protagonist in history. It's getting another one.
It was mediocre and forgetful, and it was like a weird...
Forgettable, but yes.
Yes, Dark Souls knockoff, where you didn't have force powers. Like, I cannot lambast this game enough. Because instead of it being like a proper like Jedi Knight game where you have force powers and you feel cool and powerful and you can actually do shit, you get like these force like bitch powers that don't do hard on things. You can slow down time a little or attack a little bit, but it doesn't work on any of the bosses at all. It's like all my powers are worthless.
And you get to use them like once or twice and then you're out of juice.
Yep. It's like, I'm too weak. It's like, oh my god, just fucking get eviscerated, please.
Yep. No, like, unironically, Jedi Fallen Order was not a particularly good video game, but after years of getting crushed underfoot by absolute garbage, it was better than garbage. And so people embraced it. And you know what? Okay, here's the positive thing, right? Jedi Survivor. There's a picture of, I'm just going to call him Kyle Katarn, because I know that's going to trigger the fuck out of Kyle. The Kyle Katarn of our generation.
Oh,
there's a picture of him there. Like, it's the third screenshot. And you know what? They've given him some personality. Like, he looks a little bit better now. Like, his scar is a bit more pronounced. He's got a little bit of facial hair. And he's got a bit more of that, determined bad boy kind of look on his face. Rather than the previous character. Or, well, it's the same character, but... Where he just looked so studiedly bland and uninteresting.
Oh my god. The worst part is, ever since somebody said that this is this generation on Twitter, they said that this is the modern generation's Kyle Katarn. That is fucking sad. Kyle Katarn was like literally Rambo for the Star Wars universe. This guy's kind of just a little bitch. Like, he's just kind of a little bitch. Like, fuck.
He kind of is. He kind of is, but
he looks like a bitch.
He does look a little bit better. Like, I gotta say that. And I didn't mind the Fallen Order. Like, yes, it was basically a Dark Souls fucking rip-off, but it was like, okay.
It's mediocre at best, yeah.
Yeah, it's no Jedi Academy. God, no
Yep.
Jedi Academy. But it worked. And if this one can be better, and the thing is too, there's what is almost certainly, if you go to the second to last screenshot with a bug-eyed woman, it looks like we're getting the lightsaber staffs back, because that's a really big lightsaber on his hip there.
That's probably one of the, I think that might be the, I can't quite tell. It's not high res enough. But yeah, it does look like it.
is probably a staff saber, which is nice because I would love some variety in the weapons there too.
Yeah,
More prominent force powers, more little bit improvements in the battle system, more lightsaber fights, definitely.
Oh god, and make it so that our force powers actually work on the bosses. I fucking do not know why. It's like they give you all these force powers and they suck in this game. And not only do they suck, but they don't even work on any of the bosses. And it's like, what is the purpose?
The force powers need a big buff, in my opinion. And we need Second Sister Dating Simulator.
Second Sister Dating Simulator.
Yep. All right, okay, Kyle, I'm going to send you here. This is this is canonical. This is canonical Second Sister. Okay.
Canonical.
This is canon Second Sister.
She's
the one
dead.
In the game, she looks weird because of graphical limitations. Okay, that's the only reason. This is how she actually looks. Chat, you understand?
Oh god, that lightsaber bothers me because I can literally use it as a helicopter.
Yes, but just focus on Second Sister. Second Sister, all of your memories of her weird eyes and her odd nose and her kind of maniacal look, all of those are fevered delusions, chat. Okay, that never happened. Never happened.
The only way to clean up Star Wars is to do it yourself, as it seems.
No, unironically, like it kind of pissed me off because, okay, all right, to freshen up people's memory in case they've managed to forget, right? I'll give you an actual picture of the in-game Second Sister here because this was at the height of everyone making their female characters intentionally unattractive, like. Just like bug-eyed black woman in the show too.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh god, what was her name?
I don't her or the bug-eyed black woman. Where they took this actress's face and they made her eyes look like cow eyes. Like there's these huge things that bulge out of her head, and it's like you kind of want to just like put your finger to one and like push it back into the skull. Like, no, go back in.
Just like I'm just gonna fix this. Real
like,
quick.
Hold on, your eyes are popping out. I'm doing it to help you.
There's no reason why like you're using a game medium, okay? You can make them as attractive as you want, and it is purely beneficial to do that. There is no drawback at all to making them hot. None. It doesn't exist.
Yeah. But, well, they think so, because it's unrealistic beauty standards. Yes, if your eyes bulge out of your head, that is an unrealistic beauty. Oh my god, like, you need to go see a doctor.
I'm trying to find bug eyes, and I just can't. I can't find bug eyes anywhere.
Don't send it to me, no! I don't want to look at it. Like, they bulge out, and it makes me feel sick. I feel sick.
It's not even on their, like, official site thing.
I'm just gagging, thinking, like, no, do not send that.
There, Sarah Junda. There you go.
Oh my god! Please don't be as bad as I remember.
Okay. Oh, there you go. That one's pretty good. That one's pretty representative.
Oh god, they are bulging out. Fuck, that's not natural. Stop! Somebody push them back in. One. Oh, that's even worse somehow.
It is, yes.
They're like popping out a little bit more in that scene. They just pop out more. The worst part is she has like, oh my god, the eyes. Oh, just put them back in. No, they're gonna pop out.
They do actually unironically need to be just like, just a little.
Push them back into the head. Push them back.
The worst part too is her actor doesn't look like that.
Actress, but yeah, no, she looks nothing like that. Like she actually looks quite pretty.
No, she actually doesn't. She does not. And here. Even worse.
Normal.
Even fucking worse. Let me send you her comic book character, right? There. On the left there, that's how she's supposed to look in the comic books.
Oh my god. Seriously. Like it seems like it's like the 3D modeler's fucked up here. Yeah, no, that looks fine. She looks beautiful.
No. They purposefully made her ugly. I guarantee it. They purposefully made her ugly.
She looks like a monster on the left-hand side. Like she's like, help my eyes. Like they're gonna pop out like the Indiana Jones bad guy when you remember he ages or from the angels or whatever, his eyes pop out like boop, boop, boop. Like that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely.
Oh,
So
God.
I'm hoping the next one will be better. Like I've got a little bit of prayer. I got prayer.
It was such a mediocre game. Like, oh my god, the worst part is the Kashyyyk level where it's literally like the fucking Sonic theme. You could start playing the Sonic theme because you're like
Yes.
slipping and sliding and like bouncing, boing, you know, do 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 do. Like, oh my god, I could just hear it.
Yep. I'm probably gonna cover Jedi Survivor because I've got some hopes, but they've got some growing to do. That's for sure.
Some. You mean more?
Since we're getting a lot today, I'm gonna do the super chats a little bit more intermittently, so people can get their super chats read. Since we have an episodic format today, kind of. Artemis Fowl says, "Happy New Year, Arch and the Object." Ooh, Kyle, you must take him to class for that.
Yep, we will.
Luke Jones says, "Happy New Year's in an hour and a bit from Wales." Happy New Year, Luke Jones.
Happy New Year.
TK says, "Happy New Year, Arch and Kibbs. I started drinking at noon, so I might not make it to midnight and crack up my bottle of bubbly. Gonna play God of War now.
Have fun.
Remember
and
to
Happy
punch
New Year.
the race swapped Norwegian god in the face for me.
Isn't that a goddess?
I don't care.
I don't care. Okay, fair enough.
I just want violence to be enacted against it."
Fair enough. More than equitable.
Jeff D says, "You should do a Let's Play of Generation Zero, up to 4-player co-op Swedish 10 minutes in 1989. It is pretty fun. I heard it was mediocre, and I don't want more mediocre in my life.
Yeah, I also heard mediocre too.
I've had too much."
We've looked at that game. That was a while ago.
That was a while ago. There was a big hype around it, and then it kind of just disappeared.
I think they're still developing it, so you never know. Some of those games can turn around. But some people tell me that. Like, they just said about No Man's Sky, it's like, it's better now. And I play, I'm like, it's still grindy and
now.
boring, though. It's still grinding.
And Sir John says, "Happy New Year's, moon crickets." That's a racial slur. Report him now, chat.
Get them while you still can. And Happy New Year.
All right, Kyle, your turn. What game do you want to show off?
Hold on, I have to pick. I opened up like everything on my wish list, so I gotta like pan.
Pick. Just do it, Kyle. Come
No,
on, we're
I wanna pick
professionals
a
here. Make it
favorite
fucking
one.
snappy and smooth, or I'll break your neck.
That one. E.
That one.
I sent it to you.
What? Why that one, Kyle?
Cause that one, we gotta build up. I'm saving the best for last. I have like a bunch of extras in case I run out.
Well.
We have Men of
All
War
right,
2.
Men of War 2. Okay, so this is one of those games that I don't dare hope for.
I know,
Okay.
right?
Because Men of War 2, Assault Squad, and Men of War Assault Squad 2, which is not Men of War 2, mind you, it's a bit confusing. But they had these awesome-ass skirmish game modes where you fought against, like, hordes of AIs. And it was so much fun. And they've never really done it again properly, which annoys me because they were great.
Yes.
And everybody loved them. Every time there's a new one, they're asking on the forums, like, "Hey, will this have the skirmish game mode?" And the answer is always no.
They're like, you remember that mode you made? Like, Assault Squad 2 had it. Assault Squad 2. And I remember playing that mode, and it's so awesome. Like, it's like a big,
it's great.
grindy campaign map as you slog your way forward and push the front lines. And then they never added it again. And it's like...
It's weird.
Like, I want to be able to buy units. Like, listen, Men of War devs. Like, this whole, like, oh, here's 2 fucking infantry dudes. Play with that. It's like, no. I don't want to play with 2 infantry dudes. I want a whole army. Don't give me just 2 dudes. Give me thousands.
It's also that the Men of War series has been infamous for having just no AI whatsoever.
Yeah, it's super stupid in the game. Especially yours.
Yeah, no, your unit AI is utterly incompetent. Like, there's no attack move order, really. I remember once playing Men of War Assault Squad 2, having an entire squad of mine slaughtered by one dude around a corner because they kept just turning the corner. They just kept running around the corner, getting the gun the fuck down. And it's so frustrating. Because you have the ability to actually take direct control of your units, and that's a nice option. That's a nice feature.
That's a cool novelty, too. Yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
very...
but when it's literally required for your units not to self-murder themselves, it's less fun.
Yep, because now you're getting way too micromanagerial with like the little units when you should be worrying about the greater tactics of your opponents. Because the Meta-War series is always, and their style of games is always about positioning and like flanking and maneuvering and getting up the right equipment and stuff like that. And that's really fun. But when you have to take like individual control just to make sure that a squad actually uses the gun correctly, like I swear to God, when we played that one, the fucking modded version or whatever, where like the AT guns just wouldn't fire, or they could clearly see a target but they wouldn't shoot, and so we always had to take manual control, or otherwise we just lose everything. Ugh.
It's very frustrating. But they're promising better AI in this one, so God help me, but I hope so, because this could be a pretty damn fun game to play, honestly.
Oh yeah, certainly. I hope they learn from it, because like the gameplay footage and the visuals look pretty impressive. I'm actually looking forward to it. But just make your
hoping
AI
for a good
functional. Like my soldiers should be able to defend themselves. If I have to look away on the other side of the map, I should come back and not see a pile of dead guys.
Yup. That'd be neato Cheeto.
Now it's Bart's turn.
Elsie Serrano says, speaking of making maps and gaming, have you heard of the one D&D project that lays them to bankrupt tabletop gamers? I have. Like, honestly, I don't object to everything in the one D&D system, where they're basically like, okay, we're going to introduce limitations on some of the things here. So if you... I think they said, like, if they earned over $1 million a year or something absurd like that, or 100,000, it was a lot of money, then they'll charge a royalty fee, and that was for like playing D&D on like a content creator channel and stuff, which on the one hand it's like, okay, fair enough in a way, in that they're earning a lot of money, but on the other hand also not fair enough, because you don't own the story anymore. Okay, when somebody has bought the miniatures and they made their story and they're running their own game, you don't own that anymore. D&D, yep. Like that's not yours.
Stops there.
You've merely sold the tools.
Just get better, making better tools, and have them. You know, like we make the best tools, and that's what we do, and that's how you need to market it. The only other thing they could possibly do is like try to build a digital platform for them people to play the games off of, but they haven't seized that opportunity.
And I get too that it is kind of abusive, because here's the thing, right? When you buy like hammers and nails and wooden boards and you build a house, the hardware shop doesn't own your fucking house.
Yeah, you already purchased those materials. They don't get to be like, oh, that's nice, this is my house now.
Yes. So I don't approve of it in theory. I do get also that they're like, third-party people are making models inspired by our setting. Like, okay, I get it, but take them to court then. Like, fuck you. Like, if they make it, because you already have copyright. You already have copyright protection. But if you can't make it transformative enough or different enough, then no, you don't have the rights for that. In that case, it's not third-party miniatures. It's just somebody making a miniature that could potentially be used in a game of D&D.
Hmm. Yeah, very much. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Because a lot of these people that make miniatures, they're making really cool miniatures that stand out as their own things. And like, oh, these are like rat men. Oh, really cool rat men. They're not Skaven. And GW and other companies like D&D will be like, no, they're ours, they're ours. It's like, no, you don't have a monopoly on all, fantasy rap men and universes. Like, fuck off.
And that's the problem too, where I've seen a lot of people's concern being that they're going to go after people who make fantasy creatures, which I can absolutely see them do. And the thing is, again, D&D does not have a copyright on dragons or on kobolds or on imps or anything like that. These are just fantasy monsters and you don't own them.
Very true. And that's the thing. They're gonna try their damnedest to. It's like when GW tried to copyright the pauldrons, like the absurdity of that. They're gonna try to copyright minotaurs and satyrs and all these fictional beasts from mythos and mythology, because they're gonna try to, because they want to monopolize it.
Yes. So it's like in theory, I get where they're coming from as a business. But I don't think this is the right way to go about it, and I think it's very clearly and easily abusable, and I think they will abuse it as well. Because here's the thing too. The thing we know about this like sphere of industry is that Pathfinder is not earning money. Pathfinder is losing money. They can't afford to deliver the quality of product they are currently delivering, which is the information we got during their strike during the last year. And if Pathfinder isn't earning money, Wizards of the Coast probably isn't earning money either. Like, D&D is probably barely scraping by, which is why they're now looking for more aggressive ways to monetize their property. That's probably why they're doing this. They think that, okay, we're big enough now that we can get away with trying to corner the market.
Yep, because they have the money to throw on the courts, and the other people don't. Like, imagine that, a little 3D miniature company like ours, or like any other one out there, right? We don't have the money to fight something like that. They can throw like tens of thousands, 100,000, even maybe millions onto their side. How do you combat that? You don't. You just lose. You get buried in litigation.
Yep. So I think it'll be abused, and I think it's bad. But the benefit is companies like these are already doing economically poorly, and there's a very good chance that once all of those that investor money, which is what is keeping these companies alive, begins to truly dry up, we are going to return to a period of more fluctuation in the market, where people will have to live and die on the product they make. At least so I hope.
The way it should be.
Maranga 2 says, yes, Jørgen Trollhandverker, the Norwegian inventor of the troll. Yes. No, seriously, we invented the trolls, we've got them in our mythology, nobody else has them. Fuck off and pay me royalties, now.
Bertrand, I invented my Viking ancestors. Remember that bucktooth guy with a little gap?
My Viking ancestor. Don't remind me, Carl. I'll fucking kick your ass.
He loves that.
I hate that fucking ad so much.
Oh my god.
Elsa Serrano says, Kibbs, there are better cartoons out there. Me, what? Like Bible Black series? True. Oh yeah, being serious in this, Kibbs. No, Bible Black was a pretty fucking good cartoon, okay? And Boku no Pico as well was peak cartoon.
Star Wars Micro Series isn't hentai, but it's pretty good.
If it isn't hentai, it's not a very good cartoon, Kyle.
Oh, damn. Fair enough.
Bible Black had a deep story that went hard on multiple occasions.
Oh, stop. You're hurting me. Urge to strangle you increasing.
Boku no Pico as well was a flagship LGBTQ property before we even knew what that was.
They pioneered the term, damn it.
They did.
Oh.
No, like good old cartoon. Courage the Cowardly Dog, excellent shit. Johnny Bravo, good stuff. Old school Batman, classics.
Yeah, the 90s and 2000s had a lot of really good cartoons. Even towards like the late 2010s, like you still had a few good shows, but that's when it started to end.
Batman Beyond is great as well. Everybody should watch Batman Beyond. It's very good.
Yes, that was actually my first Batman.
Animate Acumen says, saying and doing are two different things, and I am not soon to forget the refuse they've been shoveling our way. Oh no, absolutely. No, there shall be no forgiveness. I guarantee you in a few years' time, Dungeons & Dragons will be like, right, it's time to bring the white nationalism back to our setting. Or something ridiculous like that. And we should tell them to get fucked when they do.
Well, the real question is, at some point, somebody there is going to get fired, and somebody who's not gay is going to get in charge. And then...
And they need to be...
Change leadership.
Need to be dead. No forgiveness. No justice, no squeaks.
No squeaks? Oh, look at him. See, squeaking over here.
No justice, no squeaks.
No squeakies for you.
Oh, hello. Elsis Serrano donates a very, very generous 100 Canadian dollars. Apparently, 1D&D is going to launch a digital all-in-one platform loaded with microtransactions and subscriptions that will rival platforms like Tabletop Simulator and Roll20. They're going to start screwing with third-party platforms. I have heard the rumors around that. Thank you very much for the $100. Super generous. As well. Need to add in a little bit of thank you there. But yeah, so the 1D&D thing, I haven't commented on it too much. I've been looking into it, but I haven't been talking about it because a lot of it is rumors right now, where it's like, oh, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. But we don't know yet. And now, if they are going to launch an online platform, then yes, it will probably have a lot of microtransactions. But here's the thing: that in and of itself is not a bad thing if they do it correctly. Like Roll20, for example, has a pretty good microtransaction system where they give you all of the baseline tools to run a campaign, and they even give you the ability to import your own assets. And then they say, okay, but we're also going to have a storefront, and if you want to buy professional assets, they're going to be there, and they're going to be pretty cheap, like $10 for an asset pack, for example. It's like, okay, all right, that's reasonable. I'll take that, because you've got a functional product that you can then expand upon. All right. But the problem is the word microtransaction doesn't mean microtransaction anymore. Like on Roll20, if you pay that $10, you get like 20, 30 high-quality assets. What D&D is likely to do is be like, we've got a kobold here. We're going to charge you $5 for that kobold. And you can't use anybody else's kobold because we'll fucking sue you.
It's like, how are you going to know? You're not in my basement, are you? They're like, actually, I've been in here this whole time.
Well, if you're going to be using an online platform, they're going to know.
Oh, so they're online platform. Okay, so the thing is,
yes,
they're third-party platforms. I don't know why I spaced that for a second. The third-party platform thing, they're never going to succeed. Because A, Tabletop Simulator has, well, it has not only D&D, but it has anything and everything you could ever want on it.
Yes. Well, the thing is, they could. Like, if D&D delivered an online platform with reasonable pricing, with, for example, with free free rules, like, okay, you've got the baseline game, and you've got everything you need to run an adventure. And they give you, like, maybe one free adventure a year or something like that. And it's objectively better than Tabletop Simulator. Like, it's got all of the options, it's got 3D dice, it's got automated rule sets, it's also got manual rule set if you want. If they make it good, they could absolutely outcompete Tabletop Simulator, and then they could earn a bit of money on alternative asset packs on the side. But what are the odds they're going to do that?
Well, firstly, they're never going to do that. And the issue is that none of these companies ever make good tabletops. Like, any of them that make their own. Like, the Risk Company, for example, for MB, or whatever they call them, sells that board game company. Like, they made a Risk video game adaptation, but why the fuck would I fucking buy that? Like, or the Axis and Allies one. Like, why bother? I could just play it on Tabletop Simulator, and it's free. Like, the minute you ask for money for something that's already too widespread and free, there's no reason I'll ever give you money for it. Ever.
Oh. You need to provide an obviously superior product. Then people will buy it. But again, they always get lazy. And the part of the laziness is, as the Super Chat said as well, is that the rumor is also that they're then going to start going after the third parties. For example, they're going to go to Roll20 and say, right, so we see you have an asset pack here using our trademarked word kobolds, and you're going to have to take it down or we're going to fucking sue you. And what's going to happen then is that Roll20 is just going to go like, well, we're not going to spend millions of dollars defending ourselves, so strike it down.
Entirely plausible. But I
and
think
if they start doing
do
that,
something.
then I'll really start getting involved, because that is an obvious abuse of the system.
Mm-hmm. But actually, Roll20 does make profits. I think fair bit, don't they? Remember right?
Oh, yeah, because Roll20 is a fully functional software that just, it's, how to put it? It's good enough for what it is, and it provides all of the functionality it does, and then it simply offers microtransactions on the side, which is fine. Like, that's what you should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, they're woke as fuck, so, screw them, but still.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Lancelot652 says, as much as I like some of the new GW lore, it seems that Firstborn Marines are not being shown anymore. Welcome to the current year. Yeah, no, the Firstborn Marines have been completely shoved to the side. They, and that's GW specifically giving instructions that they don't focus on them anymore. Like, again, I bet you the Henry Cavill show will probably, unfortunately, be focused on Primaris. And it's going to be a massive detriment to the show, in my opinion. In fact, it might be such a detriment, it might kill it. I hope not. But we'll see. I hate the Primaris for the damage they've done to 40k. Like, their lore is ass. Their style is not very good. Belisario's call is a walking fucking plot point. I hate Primaris. I fucking hate Primaris.
Yep. That's the issue, though. if that 40K TV show is a success and it is Primaris themed, then oh boy, expect more Primaris.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, the only way to win is for everything they do to fail. Everything.
Now, let's get on to the next entertainment property before we completely waffle up the one here. I'm sure this is a show that Kyle is looking forward to quite a bit.
Show? Oh, no.
Yeah. Entertainment in general, Kyle.
Oh, cringe. I thought you were talking about a video game, but that's just as bad.
That is just as bad.
Wow, The Last of Us TV show. Wow.
Wow.
I won't die.
The Last of Us getting a TV show go.
Yay, I don't care.
Did you know, Kyle, that The Last of Us is the greatest story ever told in video gaming?
I know, I saw somebody post that and I about fucking vomited. I think it was like some of the people in this story. It's like, firstly, it's like a fairly mediocre story. If you look at the story as a whole and compare it to other video games, it's mediocre. It's fairly basic, bitch. It gets the job done, and the only thing that really carries is the characterization of Joel and like that little girl Ellie or whatever. But they've already sabotaged it in the first game by making an expansion where they're like, oh, by the way, when she was like 6, she was lesbian. And it was like, okay, like why? It's like she's lesbian, by the way, lesbian. So, okay, all right, don't care.
Because Dev popped by chat, that's why. He too is. What was that thing he once said about liking them young?
That's true. I once asked Dev, like, what do you think of this woman? And he's like, younger. I'm like, younger? He's like, younger.
Hello, Dev.
Dev, we're just calling you a pedo. Don't mind us.
It's fine.
Dev's like, thanks, guys. Really appreciate your support. It's always been nice to have you. So...
This TV show is probably something we're gonna have to watch. And the thing is, I don't even think it's going to be bad necessarily. I think it's just going to be boring and mediocre because it's not like they can wokeify it anymore, you know?
Oh yeah, The Last of Us is already super woke. Like, at least the second one was definitely. The first game was okay until you played that terrible expansion, and then it was okay. Like, it's fairly average. Like, the zombies aren't that interesting. They're just fucking mushrooms. Like, I don't know.
Rooms.
Like, as far as, like, the zombies horror setting universes go, like, Dead Space has got the fucking, like, the more interesting enemy stuff there. And the focus is too much on humans, which is... Humans are the real monsters trope in zombie universe settings, which is boring. And I'm sick to death of it.
Well, you're just going to have to accept it, Kyle. And that's all.
We have these cool zombie monsters. Oh, but the humans are actually worse than them. The zombies are like window dressing. It's like, fuck. I watch zombie shows.
The humans are the worst people.
For zombies. Not to see that zombies are actually literally to see zombies be sidestepped by like, excuse me, I'm a human evil bad guy protag. I'm actually more important. It's like, oh my god, again. Poor zombies. Can we get an F in chat for zombies?
The world works, Kyle.
They're always getting cucked. Poor zombies.
It is simply the universe.
It's not
You can
fair.
be angry at it, Kyle, but you're going to have to accept it. And when we're going to watch it, you're going to have to accept it too.
Also, Dev asks ArchKibs, Last of Us watch party like Rings of Power. Oh, look, Dev wants to do stuff together.
It's not a terrible idea, Dev.
Yeah, Dev. Way to go, Dev. Head pats for Dev.
Yeah.
More bald spots.
Good for you showing initiative.
For
when
once.
Dev is like, hey, would you like to be monetized in my channel?
Oh, yeah, it's true. He's like, hey, can I profit off of you? It's like, oh, can we work together maybe, Dev? And, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. And Dev's like, no, fuck off. And it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Now that we've thoroughly guilt-tripped
I think that's a lovely idea.
Before we agree, keep guilt-tripping
Plus,
them.
Dev can provide us with the transvestite perspective, which is what The Last of Us is all about, I've heard.
I failed to see how that is about that.
No, it is. Like, The Last of Us was the one that had the butch woman in it.
She's still a woman, though. A monster,
Is
to
she?
be fair. Yeah, no, she's a woman.
No, she's not.
I played that piece of shit. That piece of shit game, she is a legit woman.
Really?
Yeah, for real.
That's weird.
She's not trans.
Wait,
she's
is
a
that
legit
the
woman.
one in which like they have like unlubed butt sex? Is that the one?
Yeah, and it's very awkward. Yes. And the
Well,
only
it
quote
would
unquote
be.
trans person there was this one girl who shaved her head bald, and she's like, I don't identify as man because my mommy was abusive and I'm Asian. And it's like, I don't care. Shut up.
Oh, well, that's pretty based. Like transgenderism as a result of abuse. Like, okay.
You know, it's
Spicy, but
basically,
if you say so.
if you're saying it's trauma, like that's a weird thing to do, but you do you.
Still, Dev can provide his unique trans perspective on things.
It's true.
Riffwood19 says, you know that actresses are usually pretty, but in the game character, he's ugly on all these games. Yeah, they did it to fucking Miranda in Mass Effect 2 as well, where like Miranda Mass Effect 2 is not bad looking as a character, but you can very clearly see where the 3D artist just didn't quite manage to capture the human, and she's got this kind of a weird pseudo plasticky look to her. Though in Jedi Fallen Order, I'm pretty sure it was on purpose, because you don't push a human's eyeballs 5 centimeters out of the skull on accident. Like that's not a 3D animator mistake. Why does she look like a bug underwater? I don't know.
Well, because somebody thought that, hey, what do you think of this character design? It's a funny sketch I made. And like the art director's like, yeah, it's perfect.
Maybe.
It's like, oh
It was
no,
somebody's
it's
secret fetish.
I was just
Fetish.
joking. It was just a meme. Look at her eyes are bulging. He's like, no, we're doing it for real this time. It's like, oh shit.
Gunfolk says, Men Assault Squad 2, Deeplex Heated does AI vs AI battles. He plans out to a degree and let the battles play out. That could be pseudo-interesting, I guess. Like a battle report kind of thing, AAR. And Octograg says, hello, Arch and Kibbs. I wanted to ask if the game Espiocracy comes out. Will you review it? If the game comes out. That's
if. Underline if.
an interesting
Underline.
start.
Oh.
I'm having a hard time copying that particular word. God damn it. Okay, never mind. I'll just copy the entire block of text and then delete out the ones I need. Espiocracy. Oh, that's from Hooded Horse, isn't it? Yeah, no, I've got that on my my follow thing, because I'll definitely check that out, because Hooded Horse have earned themselves a lot of goodwill in my book, because so far they've only been putting out quality. Old World, Nebulous Fleet Command, Clanfolk, Terra Invicta, which is my year of 22, my game of 2022, hands down. They've got a lot of credit in my book, so if it's being made by them, I'm almost certain to check it out at some point. They're good people, Carl, and I will not stand for you calling them little gays like you did yesterday.
I'll do it again too. Do it again. So you can't do
I'll
that.
definitely check it out. Kyle, what's your next entertainment property?
All right. Well, it's better than that thing.
I don't know about that.
We'll do this one. So, this one's a ways out, though. They've yet to launch their Kickstarter, but it's actually assembling.
Starter?
Hmm? Apparently gonna do-
Kickstarter, Kyle?
Yeah.
Holy shit. So, like, it was the upcoming year, and Kyle's like, okay, you haven't started a Kickstarter yet, but...
Listen,
Kyle.
the Kickstarter
Kyle.
means it'll be prayable demo within the year. Wow, oh my god, demo. Chat's like, where's your demo? Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
To be fair, okay, so this one I did have a look at, and it does look very cool and potentially promising.
Hopefully. But again, fingers crossed. Look at it with skepticism, because I would not get your hopes up. This is basically, for those that don't know, is a spiritual successor to Supreme Commander. It's called Sanctuary Shattered Sun. And it would be really nice to get a new Supreme Commander game, focusing on like heavy macro.
It would be.
But we'll have to see.
It would be really nice. Like, graphically, it looks nice. The guys behind it have a fair bit of history in working in modding for FAF, wasn't it?
They didn't make FAF. They are a separate team that made a unique faction called the Migrants or something. I have no idea. It was some sort of migratory faction name.
There's also a bunch of supposed drama between these factions, so these people too. So
Yeah, so I will say skepticism because I've been hearing things because I've met some of the FAF devs, I've met some of the bar devs, and some of the scoop I've gotten paints a less than optimistic picture, but I'm not gonna say because I don't really know because I haven't heard the whole picture from this guy's point of view. There's some weird drama behind the scenes. Again, skepticism. Like, just be careful. Because the bar devs also mentioned some things, too. Which are, the bar devs, by the way, Beyond All Reason, free game, available right now, just like FAF. That's a spiritual successor to Total Annihilation, so if you want to check it out, it's very good. I actually recommend it. It's free, it's playable, and it's really good.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll have to see, but it's not an impossibility.
Hopefully. Because we need a Supreme Commander sequel. Like, a new Supreme Commander style game. Like, it's a RTS genre, subgenre that just doesn't get any love from the macro heavy RTSs. All we get is the micro heavy shit everywhere, all the time.
Yep. So John says there's a great Xenonauts mod called X Division. Xenonauts. Xenonauts 2 will come out sometime in 2030. Mark James says, so to say Star Wars in gaming, Awakening of the Rebellion released the Scum and Villainy update for Empire at War, which revamps the Black Sun faction.
Oh, cool. Oh, the Star Wars Empire at War game. So, interestingly enough, apparently the modders, when I would talk to our friend Alldog, a lot of the modders that are modding Star Wars Empire at War to this day are actually looking at Sins of a Solar Empire 2, and there's a lot of talk from a lot of space RTS modding communities about a massive migration towards Sins of a Solar Empire 2, because a lot of the things over there are very tantalizing. Like, it's the only space game that's coming out that offers like multi-core support and, you know, easy modability and, like, you know, movable turrets and stuff like that. So keep your eyes on Sins of Solar Empire 2's development, I would say. Because we might see...
it will be a good thing, too. Even though it's on the Epic Game Store.
Because the Star Wars Empire War mod, Thrawn's Revenge, and all those ones, they're fucking awesome. But the engine's old. And when you get to the bigger space battles, oh, that frame rate get choppy. Oh my god, holy shit. Legs a little.
A Doman knows what's up. He's Trader Dog says. Yes,
Trader Doge.
Never trust him. The Grizzly says the Aztec dinosaurs died because of the High Elves did nothing wrong. Blood Origins, Kyle. Did you like Blood Origins, Kyle?
It was really bad. I watched it for you. For you, Arch. Just for you. You owe me now. And it was terrible. It was terrible.
I don't think so.
You think it was
good? I think it was pretty good for what it was, you know?
It was so terrible that it was actually funny. Like, we watched it last night, and I stayed up till fucking 4 a.m. to do that for Barge. And I can safely say that was pretty cringe. But it was kind of funny. It was like, it was so bad, it was kind of embarrassing. And like, oh my god, when the authors like started to self-masturbate in their own story, like, oh, this is like a predictable story, but see, there's spheres, so it's like not predictable anymore. It's like, that's a plot contrivance thing. That's still predictable, you retard. That's still predictable.
That's correct. But it's spheres, Kyle.
The convergence of the spheres, I'm like, the convergence, shut the fuck up. No one cares. Witcher's a dead IP, and it's time to accept that. The author's woke as fuck. The entire setting's going to hell. The remaster of Witcher 1 has penis armor or scrotum armor for the fucking the Holy Roman Empire knockoff dudes. The setting's gone to shit in a handbasket. It's time to move on.
See, now it's my turn. Now it's my turn.
They're gonna bring hope.
Kyle.
He's like, you're gonna be the hope pill here? Is that it?
No.
I don't think so.
There you go, Kyle.
Ooh, definitely want to kill myself now. That smile, that's an ugly smile. Like, when you have an ugly smile, like, look at the smile. Like, that's just not pretty. Don't smile at me. Stop. Don't frown either. Just neutral facial expression.
As, of course, one of the big entertainment properties of the New Year's is more Star Wars chat. Oh my god, more Star Wars. Ooh.
See, You have no idea. Like, before Disney's acquisition of Star Wars, like, God, I wish we had more Star Wars video games and Star Wars movies. I wanted desperately to see so much more Star Wars material. And I got my wish under Disney. And I hate it. I hate every minute of it. Stop making it.
You're getting a lot of Star Wars now, Kyle. Aren't you fucking happy?
I miss the days when we'd get like a video game, but like, oh my God, a Star Wars video game. Holy shit. Like, oh, Jesus Christ, we only get like one of these once in a blue moon. Now it's like we get one every fucking day, and it's like, please, stop. Go away. Ahsoka doesn't need a TV show.
Looks awful.
Ahsoka doesn't need a show, and also Ahsoka's character's dumb. She was the worst part about the Clone Wars TV show, and you know it, chat. The only reason why we watch Clone Wars TV show is for the Band of Brothers clones. Get that thought out of here.
No. As Ahsoka had... Ahsoka's biggest problem was that she was usually in the episodes focused towards children. Because Ahsoka was probably the children's self-insert. Like, I could be a Jedi too.
She is the children's self-insert. That's why she shouldn't be canon. The clones were so cool. I want a Band of Brothers Clone Wars TV show. Give me that. Band of Brothers Clone Wars style.
The worst thing, like, I think an Ahsoka spin-off could be interesting if done properly, because she's in a very interesting position in the story as Anakin's Padawan. You know, there's a lot of interesting theory crafting and mind games you could do with that, but I hate the actress they've picked for her. Like, she looks like she's in bad cosplay. Like, let me find...
It does. I'll pull up the picture. Like, just the picture you sent me is good enough. Like, that does look like a bad cosplay.
Like, she does not look correct.
Is this a Photoshop?
She doesn't look like Ahsoka. She looks like a person who was cast for this role and then, like, they just half-assed it. You know, it's like when they tried to digitally de-age Anakin in that Obi-Wan TV show.
That was
and
really
you
bad.
looked at it and like, wow, somebody really didn't care about their job.
Yeah, no, it's shit. It's fucking shit.
But the upside is this will probably be one of the last Star Wars entities. Like, Star Wars is slowly dying right now. The only thing that it's had that was marginally successful was The Mandalorian. And that's it. Everything else has been a tremendous failure. And even Disney can only keep fucking shoveling money into the furnace for so long.
See, you say that, and so is everyone, like that Doomcock guy or channel or whatever. Everybody says, like, oh, this is it, Kathleen Kennedy's gonna go, oh, this is it, Disney's about to explode, Disney's gonna explode, Disney's gonna explode. Disney ain't gonna explode. They're gonna keep raping this thing until I die of old age.
No. See, that's the thing. Up until now, I would have absolutely agreed. Now, Kathleen Kennedy's not going anywhere, just point that out.
Yeah.
But... even they realize that there's becoming too much of this. And after enough failures, they will have to rethink it and reevaluate it.
That's what
and
we thought
in the currently
before, though.
prevailing climate, where HBO, Warner Brothers Discovery, and Netflix are all starting to fire their diversity departments, even Disney is going to have to follow. Because remember, Bob Iger, for all of his many flaws, was simply a person who was chasing what he perceived to be a trend, and he did so reasonably well. And so I believe he's probably the guy to look for to turn Disney unwoke as well. Because for him, it's money. Like, he's a good old-fashioned blood-sucking capitalist.
And honestly, we could use more capitalists. A lot more. We need people who want money. And they're just going to sell plastic just for plastic's sake, like what GW said. We only sell plastic, we don't sell stories. That's GW. But
under Bob
at
Iger,
this point, that's
Disney
better than
went
what we
woke
got.
Because they thought it'd be profitable. And it was, for a period.
Mm-hmm.
So under him, I think it'll go anti-woke as well.
Well, let's not get too hopeful. I imagine the thing is, most of these corporations, EA, all these terrible assholes, all these fuckers are going to recover before they collapse, and that's the worst part, I think.
Well, the thing is, right now their entire thing is they rely on the investment money. And if it starts going away, as it appears to do, the collapse is going to be pretty quick because of the amount of debt that many of them have placed themselves in. Like, Disney has a lot of debt, which they are currently able to pay off because they keep getting fresh injections of money.
I need to stop those injections. Pull the plug, Chant. I want to pull plug. Look at him. Lazy.
Marcus James says, remember in Chi-Town, the purge is coming. Chi-Town. Squadhammer says, fantasy isn't dead, just the pop fantasy is dead. Well, that is fantasy. Fantasy is dead. And eventually it'll be revitalized by off-the-grid fantasy. But that's going to take some time. Barbarians Aras says, my bulging eyes can see the enemies coming from all directions, but it comes at the cost of any depth perception. She's basically a chameleon.
Oh my god, like the eyes move in separate directions. We need a fucking art piece like that
happening, unironically.
Oh, that's disgusting, but also kind of hilarious.
Elsa Serrano says, Arch plus puzzle games? No. I would love to see you take on the Mist series in a stream. I would kill myself. Arch hates puzzles.
Oh, Barge Mist series.
No.
Okay, all right. Well,
no.
The Mist series it is. Here we go.
You can play Mist all you bloody well want.
You're playing Mist. It's your turn to suffer. I play all the bad games.
I'll buy you Mist right now.
No, you won't.
Steam. Go on, boy.
No. Now, moving on.
The
Company
entire
Heroes.
series, too. Like, there's like 50 games.
We need to get back to
Then I'll send you a couple of those Agatha Christie hidden object games.
Ooh. That's just asking for a trip to the bridge and jump off the ledge. It's tall enough, and it's frozen over, you know. One good plunge. One good plunge.
Gamma Spectre says, Happy New Year, you excellent Arch and Baron Kibbs. May you all never cease your occasional and hilarious friendly bickering. Salute. Merry Christmas. That's not the right one. Merry Christmas. Just incidentally.
Arch, don't forget about your Streamlabs, you old bat.
I've already done it. Happy New Year's as well.
Did you get them? Double check. Always good double check. Make sure no one gets left behind.
I'm ignoring Artemis for a little bit.
Ah, good.
Artemis is at the end of a long list, okay?
Buckamus is down on his luck.
Troy Neenan says, in 40k, the men of gold were just cheap plastic drones from a company called Goldman. That's how Mist works. Goldman is Sachs. Sujan says, Nick Beardia, do good 3D models to purchase. Good. I'm sure he'll be sued soon, though.
Rest in peace, bro.
Alright. What's your next entertainment property, Carl?
I have more than you, Barch. You will talk to me with a little bit of respect. He's like, do you just take up at me, Ulysses? No, yes. Not that one.
I intend to do so again.
Now, this is one that I find funny, and it's probably not going to happen. Let's send it to Barch. But it is scheduled for next year.
Kyle. Okay, I said to Kyle, hey, bring us some game for the upcoming year.
I
and
brought
he's
a
like,
lot.
Okay, this one might get a Kickstarter next year.
I brought
and
a
it's
lot.
like Stalker 2.
Listen, December 2023.
December 2023.
I saw this and I had to add this to the list because the release date just made me smile. So I don't think that's going to make it. But hey, we're getting another Stalker game. And this is a franchise that a lot of people love. Because they love Slavjank. They're weird. I don't pity them.
I think we can comfortably push this one to December 2024.
Listen, it'll just have a few Ukrainian bombshells in it, okay?
Like, don't get me wrong, I quite enjoyed the first Stalker 2, and I'd be more than happy to see more of it, but, yeah.
Not having a lot of faith. Yeah, me neither. I don't think this game's going to reach this year, but it is an upcoming game, so keep your eyes on it, and if you're a fan of Stalker, or you like the Fallout games, or post-apocalyptic role-playing video games, then this is definitely a setting to check out.
I mean, I like the fact there's a multiplayer mode that will be added soon after release as a free update.
Yeah,
like,
I've heard that before.
Release.
I remember that. What terrible, shitty game was that? Cyber Spunk? Yeah, there was a terrible game that came out that was like, we're a multiplayer, there's a lot of expansions, we promise it'll be great. It wasn't
I lied
great.
to you, Kyle.
Cyberpunk was shit, and it still is shit. And they're gonna leave
it. Them?
They're gonna leave it unfinished. They're gonna release one expansion, and then they're gonna go and they've got their money from all the idiots that bought it, and now they're gonna move on and do it again.
Then they're going to move on to Cyberpunk 2, which is just going to be that anime, but in the game form. And you know what? I'm happy to
It's
accept
not, because they were upset about the anime, and they still are.
They probably were a bit butthurt, yes, that they got all the success. They might do the exact opposite of it just to be like, look, we can be successful too.
Well, they got mad about the Lolly character to a ridiculous degree, and they're like, no, you can't do that. It's like, there's a whole spiel about the Nier Automata anime, where I'm hearing some leaks about Yoko Taro being upset. Like, when you start to piss in somebody's cornflakes about the project or their ideas, like, it's gonna get messy. So always skepticism as soon as you've seen that happen. Oh, that's right. Oh, no! Chad, I didn't add to my wish list because of that reason. There is a new Armored Core announced. But in that Armored Core announcement, they're like, it's going to have new features from our latest Dark Souls style games. It's like, so you're just going to make Armored Core into Dark Souls? Okay. That's an L right there. Stupid.
Good.
Let's turn a
We
different
need more
genre.
Dark Souls in our Dark Souls.
I'm so sick of Dark Souls games, and I'm glad the rest of the world is finally getting sick of it too.
My light is flickering, Kyle. If I suddenly disappear, it's because somebody has shot down my my power line.
Well, I know the drill. 20 minutes, and then I wrap it up.
Speaking of, okay, so returning to gaming here, here's the next property that I'm actually pseudo kind of looking forward to in a weird way, because I didn't expect I ever would.
Yeah.
The
I'm definitely
legacy
going to play that one too.
of Harry P.P. Potter.
I actually like Harry Potter. At least I like the first couple books, and I love the setting.
I don't think Harry Potter is gay.
It's kind of cozy. It's very
I
Christmassy.
think Harry Potter is a bit dumb. I think J.K. Rowling did a lot of weird little retcons in her own story because people were calling the plot points and like, you can't do that.
Oh, who cares about J.K. Rowling? Oh, she's... Okay, so J.K. Rowling, literally... So they set up Harry and Hermione to be like a romantic interest down the road, and then she changes it just to be like, no, I'm different, I didn't do it. So it's like, you built up this, and then randomly she ends up with Ron, and it's like, that doesn't... Like, character chemistry doesn't quite click there, but okay. Mr. I gotta be... Or Mrs. I gotta be special about it. Yeah, no, I don't really care for the author.
Hogwarts Legacy has had enough drama around it to the point that I'm like, yes, maybe this will be good. Because they had a whole cancel culture thing, lots of backlash nonsense, and then there's J.K. Rowling herself, who tweeted out recently Merry Turfmas, and that caused all kinds of uproar.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yep, that was mildly funny.
At least
I
it's
don't
funny.
know, like, it could be funny, it's just because I will say this. What J.K. Rowling did achieve very well is creating this world that feels incredibly whimsical and incredibly magical, you know?
Yeah, I know. But you don't like that world, Barch.
There are lots of it that I find fucking retarded. Like,
It
the
is
whole
dumb.
wand combat thing, I think is just stupid, because you could just shoot them in the head.
Yeah,
and they
no,
would
of
have no
course.
defense against it.
Well, yeah, no, like the setting is more like a kid's setting, if anything. I've never taken the Harry Potter universe to be particularly serious. The way I look at it is like, it was this fun, sort of Christmassy themed like movie that would always come around in the seasons. It was very fun. Very jolly.
Yes.
But
Yes,
I
very
don't take it seriously. Because literally a gun is faster and more effective than saying abracadabra and whipping your wand, when meanwhile you have a bullet hole in your fucking head.
Hopefully Hogwarts will allow us to purchase the gun DLC.
Just shoots everyone. Modding could fix that, yeah.
Nolly says, didn't Disney try to copyright Thor at one point? They succeeded. Thor is a copyright now, but bear you in mind, it is Marvel's Thor, specifically.
Yep.
Desert Hamster says, Cow and Chicken and I Am Weasel are underrated. They are. I particularly like the devil who walks on his ass cheeks. The butt walk. You know the butt walk, Kyle. Do not tell me you do not know the butt walk.
The bet walk. Jesus
Do you
Christ.
not know the butt walk? What the fuck is wrong with you?
No, Barch. Bad. Barch is being a weeb again. Chat.
You
beat
don't
him.
know the butt walk, do you?
He's doing it. Don't
No.
play into it. Just
You're
ignore
being
him.
weird.
Hogwarts Shooter DLC? Hell yeah, brother. It's time Gryffindor got what was coming to him.
It's a lovely little... Okay, so... More importantly, Cow and Chicken, okay?
Cow and Chicken? What
Cow
the
and
fuck?
Chicken
That's a segue.
was a cartoon show
That's a segue. That was a
from
weird
very
show.
long ago. And it revolves around a brother and a sister who are raised by humans, and the brother and sister is a cow and a chicken.
It was a
And
weird show.
The cow is obsessed with the chicken drinking her milk, and that is one of the central plot points in many episodes.
It is fucking weird. It's one of those shows that was written by people that were high as fuck.
Then there is that red guy, who's this guy here, and
his
he
butt.
butt walks.
Yes, I know. Oh, no. It's such a weird show. Such a weird
It's
show.
it's a slightly weird show, just a little bit.
Slightly is a slight understatement.
I Am Weasel was also pretty cool. Cow and Chicken was they eat ass. Unironically. Like one of their favorite food is just a fried ass on a plate.
I'm just reading chat and just like, yeah, they're just like, chat doesn't understand. They're sad.
This is good old fashioned entertainment right here. Oh, it's a pig's ass specifically. Okay, here we go. You see, between the cow and chicken, right there, there's a fried pig's ass on a plate.
Literally.
House food. Yeah, literally. It was a pretty good show, Kyle.
It didn't
Oh, that's
last
even
that
better.
long, if I remember right.
Here you go. It's a better picture of the pig's asses, which they ate with potatoes. And now that everyone has learned that this was a thing that existed, we can move on. Mark James says, have a hard time figuring out which is lower, a journalist for mainstream media or a writer for Hollywood. A journalist, definitely. The Hollywood writer could do good if he so chose, but the journalist, he's just lost. He's just lost.
He's just
Maranga2
lost.
says, Robert Pattinson should have been cast as Teddy McInnes instead of Bruce. Also, last super for me, so I wish you and Kyle best this new year. Happy New Year, Maranga2.
Happy New Year. You Kiwi. He's like, oh.
Saratha says, I'd like to remind you that in BB, Public, Dick girls were worshipping the fallen angel and performing human sacrifice. What did Japan mean by this? They meant to say that hentai is weird, and sometimes weird shit happens in it.
Sometimes.
That's what they meant.
Only
That
sometimes.
was the generalized message.
Other times, normal stuff happens.
Sometimes normal shit happens, yes. Entirely normal stuff. And Mark James says, Tabletop Simulator got wrecked by the transgender flag, who then ruined Twilight Imperium. They did have a bunch of stuff taken off their platform for copyright reasons. GW launched their copyright offensive against them as well, which caused all of the modders to basically just rename their stuff to, like, Space Warriors.
That's funny.
Which was pretty cute.
Because there's nothing they can do about it, too. Because technically, it's like, well, they could just call them Space Warriors. What are you going to do? Cry about it?
Yes. That is what they're going to do about it.
I hope
They're
they
going to
cry
cry and yell,
loudly.
and they're going to hope that something doesn't work.
I hope we can hear it.
What is your next entertainment property, Kyle? Come on, we got to keep the show rolling.
Oh, now you're ready, Mr. Cow and Chicken Boy. So Cow and Chicken, it was funny for 5 seconds.
You're
Now,
slowing me down.
now Barch has sort of moved on. You know, he's sort of moved on past that. Boop. This is one that I'm looking forward to. My hopes have yet to be dashed. Yay!
God, you tinted glasses, little fool.
I like my tinted glasses, and I'll wear them as long as I can until I play the game and find out that they're broken. This is an
She got
RTS game
so
that's coming
defensive
out.
too when I was pointing it out. Like, you know nothing about this game, Kyle. Come on, it should be good. And he screamed and yelled at me.
Actually, that
So it
didn't
happened.
happen. I simply was like, actually, I met one of the developers and actually talked to them. So I'm actually slightly looking forward to this because these guys have huge respect for the CNC franchise and the Command and Conquer style of real-time strategy games. And CNC and that sort of base building, like crunchy buildingness that I love about those RTS games, they have that. And I'm hoping that they actually do it like right, because I really want a new Command and Conquer game, like really badly. And I look at EA and I know that they could just remaster Red Alert 2 and Tiberian Sun and give us what we want, or they could just sit there and stare at us and be like, so we made that Command & Conquer mobile game. It's like, no, go away. I don't want it. I don't want it. I want alternatives, and I want new RTS games now. So, I am mildly interested in Tempest Rising. Now, again, a lot of skepticism, but these guys have gone out of their way to reach out for CNC guys, or CNC fans. And they actually reached out to some CNC content creators that do CNC lore. And so they're actually bringing on some people to make their universe. So my one fear there is that it's going to be a little too close to Command & Conquer, so we'll see.
But what if, Kyle, you can only get Red Alert 2 remastered if you play the mobile game?
Then I'll play the mobile game. I am that
Then
desperate.
go do it, Kyle. You have to do it now.
No, that's not the stipulation,
You
though.
heard it here, chat.
No,
you promised to play the CNC mobile game.
I never promised. That's just adding words. I am holding out.
I
Chat
look
saw
forward to
that
that,
game.
Kyle.
No, chat, I'm saving that for later. We saved the best for last. Chat, shh, you didn't see anything. At least Elsis is super excited. We'll get to it. But yeah, this is what I'm looking forward to. So I'm cautiously optimistic about Tempest Rising. Fingers crossed for a base building RTS game. Please.
Speaking of, better yet, moving on swiftly.
Okay.
This is a TV show that has been in production since the Second World War ended.
What? Excuse me?
Yeah. Masters of the Air entered production in 1945.
Wow, that's quite the development time.
Yeah.
So
I'm
what
lying
is
to you, by the way.
Okay. Arch, come
Okay,
here.
so this here is
I hate you.
is the supposed sequel or follow-up to Band of Brothers and the Pacific and stuff. And it's supposed to be about B-17s, Flying Fortress style stuff, and the air campaign against Germany. And this shit has been rumored to be in pseudo development something or other now for I don't even know how long. Like, this has been going for absolute ages. And the thing is, there's a lot of meat to the project. Like, it's got teams, it's got actors and stuff. It looks like it's a real project, and yet nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows if it's going to come out this year, last year, next 3 years. Nobody knows. It's just this weird fucking thing that
could be
exists
really
in this
cool.
half state of maybe being.
I hope it is. I mean, apparently it's on the up and for popularity. I don't know what the fuck that means. But a B-17 Flying Fortress themed movie could be really cool with like the
TV
whole
series.
crew. Yeah, TV series, yeah. And it could cover like the beginning of the war, you know, or not even beginning, like the training, so to speak, and like getting through the process of training, sort of like Band of Brothers, but for the air boys, for the flying little lads in the sky as they get torn out of the sky. That'll be wonderful.
Because now it's apparently being run by Apple, like TV Plus.
Apple, gross. I hate Mick.
And they've apparently got Tom Hanks on it, and Steven Spielberg, and a lot of the producers and people from Band of Brothers in the Pacific. And it's supposedly finally shaping up to something.
Oh, cool.
God alone knows.
So they're bringing on people that directed Band of Brothers and stuff. So this could be like a literally like Band of Brothers, but B-17 Flying Fortress. That's fucking awesome. If it is
Yes.
what I think it is. I hope.
Or after being in development hell for many, many decades, it could simply be a story about the first transgender pilot in the U.S. Air Force.
And then my hopes were dashed, crushed, and then shat upon, yeah.
That would be funny too, but in a slightly different way.
I don't think that's funny. I think that's sad.
So John says, Hero Labs is what I used to build D&D/Pathfinder, Shadowrun 5, 6e, etc. Recently thought, though they've gone from once-off purchases of books to monthly payments. Well, we call that a sustainable business model.
Yep, because they want retainable mun-muns flowing in. It's like, well, we want
Yes.
to pay regularly so that we can keep going regularly.
They would like you to be fucked long term.
And honestly, I empathize. Like, fucking you long term is pretty good, actually. Just
Recurring payments. Recurring monetization.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Kind of like, yes, pee hard, you disgusting bastard.
Crowdsourcing. Become greedy.
You were always a greedy person, Carl.
Nah, well,
Bad
it's just
person.
it's only gonna get worse as time goes on. That's how it goes.
Be careful of Kyle. He's an abusive spouse.
Going to milk you, chat. Milk you until you're dry. And then keep milking you till you're gone.
Black 1917 says, Click and hail Arch Christ, our Lord and Savior. Brood Kibbs, Happy New Year. Happy New Year's, Black.
Happy New Year.
Don't Pete XX says, Don't worry, Kibbs, someone will make a shoe where the zombies aren't even there. Just shoe?
A shoe?
Show. Yes. Where the zombies aren't even there. They're just misunderstood, and humanity needs to accommodate for them. Correct. I hope so.
Wasn't that the first Omega Man? Was that he was the monster and the zombies were actually the goodies? Like, we just went.
Well, they were vampires.
Yeah, they're like, it was Omega Man, if I remember right.
And only kinda. Like, it was more that he didn't understand what was going on, that society had basically moved on without him because the vampires had made their own society.
Yep, and he was like, I'm the last human, and I'm, trying to, cling to humanity, blah, blah, blah. But everyone had moved on.
It was a neat twist. I quite liked the idea of it. Of course, then Will Smith decided to ruin it, as Will Smith does every single book thing he has ever fucking touched. But
Yeah,
such is
no,
life.
right. What about I, Robot and I Am Legend?
Those didn't exist. But yes, Will Smith is the death of the book-inspired movie. He is.
He did that to I Am Legend, because I Am Legend, he took that story and is like, well, so what if they're just zombies, and I shoots them? It's like, okay.
What if? What if indeed?
And I have a dog, and then I strangle my dog, and it's super sad.
Mark Ashamed says, the next zombie show better have a necromancer or a vampire lord as the main villain. Those are too old hats. Can't have those anymore. And Artemis Fowl says, Kibbs, the second game, the Portog. Portog? The Portog.
Protag.
Portog is a trans woman.
That's not a trans woman. That's a chick. No.
Told you.
I played the
Kyle,
game. That's a woman.
You foolish.
Nope. Because
Dumbass.
in the flashback, she's like a little girl, and then, she grows up and she's super buff because she trains a lot. And she trains a lot because she wants to not die. She wants to be strong. That's literally the whole plot. Sorry, chat, but I'm smurder. I played more bad games than you did. That's my win of the year.
Kyle, next entertainment thing.
Good. No, I misclicked.
Fool.
Oh, that's the other one I want to show too. This one first, though. We'll do this one because I'm tormenting somebody in chat with it already.
Fool.
So this one is honestly like Stargate. Stargate's getting stuff being adapted to it. And if you didn't know, they're trying to reboot the Stargate TV show. Amazon approached Richard Dean Anderson and simply just asked, like, how much? So we'll see. But the Stargate franchise is getting rebooted, it seems, and it's been dead for a while. And there's a Stargate video game coming out. Now, I want to, quickly, soften your hopes quickly, because look at the developer and publisher, it's Slytherin. And what are they known for? Mediocrity. So don't get your hopes too up, but we do have a Stargate video game coming out. It's a real-time tactics game that looks kind of like Commando from the stuff that I've seen about it. But
real-time tactic game, Carl. It's Commandos.
Yep, there's some Jaffa in those pictures.
Is it what?
Jaffa. They're the warrior caste of the Gould. They're like little slaves, basically.
Uh-huh. Where's Kofifi?
Barch, come here. He's like, yep. Look at Death Glider, chat. I know Stargate. Barch doesn't. I'm going to get him into Stargate, chat. He will break.
Wow, it's a Jaffawi.
He's resisting.
It's a Jafawi. I can recognize this too, Carl. And there's a spaceship. And there's a tree with like weird word things on it. Is that a Jafawi too?
No, they're Jaffa. They're Jaffa.
What are the giant antler beasts? Are those also Jafawi?
Those aren't even in Stargate because they didn't have a budget for those.
Clearly they're in Stargate, Carl. They're right fucking there.
I've seen the TV show and I've never seen those ever. Like, I can see that there's some Jaffa patrolling around here. I can't tell what god they serve because they're not wearing their full armor. Because different Jaffa from different under different system lords will wear different armor. Like, Ra was the bird, Anubis was the snake, etc. They need to have the best girl system lord. We need fucking you. He is great. He's just Chinese, he's old, and he's fucking got Alzheimer's, and he's the best.
I still want to know what those big antler things are, and I want to know if they are Jaffa too.
They aren't Jaffa. They're some sort of, beast of burden that they're using.
Are the Jaffa not beasts of burden?
They kind of are.
Yeah, they are. Like, you called them like a soldier dude, so they clearly are. So those are the Jaffa.
The Jaffa also incubate the Gould young.
The Gould. The Goldman Sachs?
The Gould. They're serpent-like creatures. They're parasitic life forms that take control of humans and stuff like that. They're basically an evil race, and they have fucking, what do you call it, genetic memory or something cursed. So every one of them knows they're super smart.
The show is calling the Goldman Sachs people genetic monsters.
In our Discord, we're watching through the entire show. We're currently on Atlantis now. Barch needs to you'll like Stargate. Just don't watch Universe. I promise. The first season's a bit weird.
That's the problem, Kyle. You're like this. Just don't watch this part of the show. It sucks pretty bad.
That's not the first part. That's the last thing they made. And Stargate Universe was the third series, and it was really bad.
Sales pitched me softer.
Really bad. Yeah, but I'm telling you the truth. Listen, the truth is here.
It's like when he tries to get me to watch Star Trek. Like, okay, Star Trek's really great, except for like the first 3 seasons. I'm like, Kyle.
Yeah, the Bubbles told me that too. And then I watched them. I was like, these are terrible. And then I got through. I'm like, okay, it's better now. It's better. They were pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. They were hit or miss.
See? Clearly, these are not things that should be watched.
Stargate, you should watch. It's a fucking awesome show. It's one of the few shows that handles space stuff well. You will watch it.
Justin Williams says, Jafal.
He's fighting.
He doesn't, but he says, a bit of a thank you gift for doing the Cyber Crusade. It goes to where my entry to the universe and remains my favorite series. Cheers. You're very welcome, sir. Tibor Novotny says, Happy New Year. Thanks for making good lore. Thank you, sir. Jaffa Cakes. Yes, Jaffa Cakes. I shall call them that now. Troy Neenan says, 40k Leith versus the Lion. Who would win? The Lion has far more plot armor.
What? Wow.
You need more of a reason?
No.
Okay. Lilith Hesperex is all kinds of like fancy pants, jumpy, spinny thing and shit. But it's the Lion. He's probably he is actually probably just about as fast. And she's naked, and he isn't. Yeah, no, I'll give it to the Lion. Elsie Serrano says, Hey Arch, are any of the Rogue Trader Collector's Edition worth picking up, or do you suggest waiting for full release? I mean, what they've released so far looks really great, but I'd probably always wait for the actual release, particularly as this developer too is rather infamous for working in quite a lot of little bugs in their games. Sometimes progression-breaking bugs as well, mind you, which they do fix, okay? They do fix them eventually. But you're never entirely guaranteed that you will be able to play their games from beginning to end, so I'd probably wait for a full release for that one. Just in case. Just on the off chance that they work in a little bit of a surprise, you know, for those people who are a little bit too eager to progress. A little bit of a stop sign there in the middle of the road. Very, very good, very reasonable. Wojciech Sleska says, Happy New Year from Moravia. That's a place. Happy New Year to you too. Animate Acumen says, Kibbs, are you sure you want Band of Brothers? I'm sure they will just make them gay or something. Yeah, Kyle. Are you sure?
Why did audio turn back on? Just mute that. There we go. No. I want more Band of Brothers, but I just want good content. I'm not asking for them to make it woke. That's what you're asking for. That's the L you take, and you can sit up on it. I will not.
So Kib's official comment is that he doesn't want the woke, he doesn't want the gay, and he'll be sad when he gets it.
Yeah. Depressed even. Oh, it'd be cringe.
See, no, I can see how you can make this pretty good, okay? So, Masters of the Air, or the Sky, or whatever it was, right? B-17, the entire crew are flaming homosexuals, except for the one trans person.
No.
And they're stuck in this little metal tube with each other for hours on end as their rampaging homosexualism begins to really work its way to a head, you know, a worm slathery head. They could die at any moment, you know, their lives are flashing before their eyes, and they start thinking, you know what? Maybe we could take our clothes off at 10,000 feet and not freeze to death if we hug real close together.
They're muscly, like glistening pecs, you know.
Yeah,
shining
like
in
that
the
one
dark.
scene from Golden Kamuy.
Fucking Christ. They glisten. That's terrible.
Golden Kamuy, the anime, had one... Ah, yep, no, that one works as an example. There you go, Kyle.
What was that safe to show? Should I show it?
Maybe not. I don't even know.
It's too risky. Too risky.
It's modern day YouTube. Who even knows?
Yeah, it's modern day YouTube. It's funny. If anyone's in our Discord, Fairman put his edit in the Bickering Bunch discussions of what Arch asked him to make, where it's the Soviet. You know what? It's a long story. If you know, you know. If you don't, well, lucky you. That was a long story.
It is a pretty,
it's very
good looking thing.
very fucking awful. God damn it, Arch. Remove that from my DMs.
No. We're going to put something equally awful underneath it. The next entertainment entity. Starfield.
This is going to be so mediocre, I just fucking know it.
There's a good chance of that.
It looks mediocre.
There is a good chance of that. It's modern day Bethesda, which means it's probably not going to be anything particularly interesting. It's probably not going to be anything particularly groundbreaking. It's probably not going to be anything particularly anything, frankly. It's gonna be there. It is going to exist, and it's just gonna kind of rub itself up against you, like a wet, flappy little thing that just kind of like plop.
Why does it look like it's still running in the fucking Morrowind engine still?
Because it almost certainly is.
Oh my god, they really gotta make a new engine.
No, just like Red Assembly, they really think that they don't.
Like they're all your games are starting to look the exact same after a while. It's like that just looks like a Morrowind mod, or like an Elder Scrolls mod, or a Skyrim mod. Like it doesn't look like it's a high budget release. It looks like this tacky little thing somebody put together because they had some 3D modelers. Mods will not.
And this is
save
the
it.
game that they couldn't make a few years ago because like the technology just isn't there yet. The technology to make our fucking dead-faced 3D figures, it just wasn't good enough.
So we're still using the same engine we've been using for fucking decades because because the technology wasn't there for a new engine.
Yep. The tech just wasn't there to make them look as fucking dead and horrible. Like, I don't know. Like, it's Starfield. I was like,
The name Starfield, the fucking artwork, the fucking models, like this whole thing looks boring. Like the cover art looks boring. Like what does the cover art represent? There's a woman, she's looking up, there's a guy, he's looking over there, he's like, oh, I wonder what's over there. She's like, what's up there? And then there's this guy who's staring over there. Like, why is he staring over there? Like, what is over there?
It's trying to be like, there's a wide open world of mystery and magic out there. And he's looking out towards it like, my God, what could be over the next hill? An invisible wall that stops you from going over there because they didn't actually make the whole planet. That's what.
oh, another invisible wall. It's like, look, you see those mountains there, chat? You see those mountains? You can climb those mountains. Like, wow, really?
Yeah,
guess what's up
you
there?
can climb them if you clip past the fucking wall.
If you press the tilde key and type in no clip, there you go. You can. The sky
There
is
you
the
go.
limit. Well, the skybox is the limit, but you know what I mean. You know?
Well, you can clip through the skybox too, Carl, to be fair.
I mean, if you're no clipping, you might as well.
Oh, like this is so sad because Bethesda used to be one of my always buy companies, no matter
Yeah.
what. Whenever they made something, like I wouldn't even look into it. I would just buy it because
You had faith in them.
it was Morrowind. Morrowind was just my game of forever, right? And then Oblivion came out and it was like, it's a video game. And that's about it. And Skyrim was better, in my opinion. But it too is, God, I tried playing it recently, and it is difficult to describe just how soulless fucking Skyrim is. Once the initial glamour and like the self-imposed kind of, you know, how do I put it? Like when the suspension of disbelief begins to fade and you begin to look at it as a video game, it is remarkable how soulless it comes across.
Yep. See, for me, my first fucking like breakthrough with Bethesda with that was when I reached like Skyrim. I remember playing it and being like completely like disconnected with the world, and everyone else seemed to be so infatuated with it. But for me, I just couldn't get past that anymore. I was like, this all feels the same. There's no magic here. It's just emptiness.
Kyle is what we call a jaded old man, chat. Throw things
I'm
at him now.
younger than you.
I still have hope for Starfield, Kyle. I still have hope. I still think it could be something kawaii.
That's because you're deluded.
I still think it could have anime waifus in it.
With modding, yes. There's actually some really cool Fallout 4 mods, even though Fallout 4 is fucking boring, that turn like fucking female characters into anime waifus. And that's pretty half bad. Not half bad.
Gave you power armors and bolters. See, there's hope.
Only for the
Gravitron
mods.
3000 says, how come neither of your GIF PNG mouse open? It's because Streamlabs has borked absolutely everything.
They will be updated in time. Patience, chat, is a virtue. Don't have it.
Mr. Twisted Fancy says, Happy New Year, Arch and Kibbs, and many happy returns. Thank you, Mr. Twisted Fancy, and Happy New Year to you too.
Happy New Year.
Elsie Serrano says, gonna be honest, Arch, I never listened to any of the hype around Cyberpunk 2077. I just purchased it because I was interested in the TTRPG. You and many others, myself included. And also says, I was disappointed that it wasn't a true RPG, and the story could be a little derpy from time to time, but in the end, I actually enjoyed the overall experience. See, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I don't think Cyberpunk 2077 was that bad of a video game. I think it was an entirely okay video game. It certainly wasn't the sky-smashing extravaganza that it promised by any stretch of the imagination, and so much of it could have been so much goddamn better as
It's
well.
missing so many features they showed, though. Where's the wall climbing and the other modifications you could do? They're not in the game.
The only people who noticed that is the weird fanboys like yourself who were like, I'm excited for
The
this.
worst
man."
part is, I never was excited. I looked at this game and I was like, this is gonna flop. And then everyone's like, it's gonna be a smash shit. And then it comes out and it flops. I told you. The problem is you gotta look at the PR. And if the PR is like nervous like that, like that's never a good sign. Where they're like, yeah, it's coming out, there's just delays, but it's everything's fine, Don't look at anything. Don't look too closely. It was boring and it was a piece of shit. That's what Cyberpunk was. It was a lie, and it wasn't a very good lie.
But Kyle, it could have been a very good lie.
It wasn't.
It could have been, Kyle.
We must accept that it was a disaster, and it will never recover, and should burn.
No, I still enjoy Judy's little shakes. I
And
still think
CD
Judy's love arc was
Projekt Red-
worthwhile.
CD Projekt
It
Red
just kind of stopped.
CD Projekt Red was rightfully dethroned, and will now crash and burn as everything they make is going to be woker and woker.
My only problem was that she basically dumps you with a phone call, and then that's just kind of the end of the romance. It's like, ring, hello, I know we had sex the other night. That's really cool and all, goodbye. Like,
I think I don't want to ever see you again. It's like,
Like,
okay.
honey, can we talk about this? No? Click.
That's because they didn't have time to write more story.
Or I'm going to cheat on you with Pan Am now.
Wow.
I also hate the fact that they apparently they locked Judy behind a the lesbian only story arc, and I'm like, I hate that. I don't fucking care. Like, I don't care if I want to seduce one of your characters. I don't care if I'm male or female. Let me.
Yeah, but characters have pre-established preferences.
They don't, Kyle. They're fucking pixels, Kyle.
Now his immersion's broken completely.
They will take the sausage, Kyle. I don't give a fuck.
See, if it was a good game, you wouldn't be bothered by that.
Make it harder if you need to. Like, make it difficult. Like, he's like, I really don't want to be gay, though. Like, but are you sure?
They're like, I really don't want to have sex with you. And Arch is like, are you sure? I'm just going to rape you. And they're like,
are you sure?
And then you just get a rape option. There you go. Then you can do it anyways.
Yeah. And then, just like in a good hentai, he goes like, you know what? That was pretty cool.
You know what? Being raped is actually a good thing. It's like, okay.
And then you can get a little, like, achievement pop up and go like...
actually, being bred is fine. That's
mind rape. Yeah, no, mind rape. Successful.
No, I don't want to be bred. And the next picture. Oh, being bred is fine now.
Being bred was better than I had thought. There you go. That's how you do romance in these video games properly, okay? It is the only way. Any other way is the wrong way and the highway. All right, Artemis Fowl donates $250, not out of generosity, but out of spite.
You're welcome.
As promised, for Kib's suffering. Also, they left the ending off like a cliffhanger. Also, Kibs shows all the stolen art and runaway model dresses that the Empress simply used, zero effort put into the clothing design.
Did you DM it to me recently? You did. I'll pull it up, you fat cow. Hold on, I'm opening the Tweeter link. Tweeter. There you go. Yes, all the designs for the Empress's dress were literally stolen from a walkway thing. Runway. One of those runway straight thingies.
Why did they do that, Kyle?
I don't know, because they're creatively bankrupt is what I had, if I had to guess, honestly. I mean, let's be honest, the costume design in that show was a fucking disaster. Like, you had one mage who's wearing, like, weird clothing, then that one gay dude was actually wearing, like, polyester fucking what the fuck it's called? Where it's got elastic, like, bands on his, like, pants. It's like, that's... Like, where are we? Are we in a modern setting? Like, this fabric is beyond... these people's limitations. The people were clean. The peasants weren't dirty. In the uprising, they're all just clean people that were wearing rags that were also clean.
The uprising, too. It's like, behind these doors, all of the food the Emperor's store for me is empty. But, okay, what do we do now? We'll fucking sing to them. That'll piss them off. And it did.
It's like, la, la, la. The singing was bad. Like...
It's like, listen, I'm the Black Raven, therefore you should be angry. Black equals violence? So, Jesus.
And the reality is having good songs in your video game or your show isn't actually hard. Like, we've done it. We've produced some songs, and they're actually pretty good. They even have singers. They fucking did the same thing, and their singer lady, those songs just make my fucking hair stand up on end.
Oh, you're gonna have to do that thing they did. There's going to have to be a scene in your video game where a non-related character comes up and just starts singing, but really badly. No. You're going to have to do it now.
See, Barch is now on the dev team, but we don't let Barch have creative, control because he'd do something like this, and we have to, put the leash on and keep it tight, or he gets a little feisty.
No, it was an excellent scene because she couldn't sing, and she's like...
I'm glad you're cutting out.
It was great. It was fantastic. It added so much to my experience of the show. It made me feel an emotion, as we would call it. The emotion was sickness.
Depression, sadness, all these emotions can be yours.
This show really touched a heartstring inside of me. It made me want to go out, find this person, and choke them.
Look at fucking Tiamat fucking simping for fucking Bethesda. Here.
You should never make that noise again.
Here's your L. Tiamat, sit upon it. Sit upon the L I gift to you. He's fucking mad.
Fimbul says, hello, Arch. Thank you for all the happy hours of great content. Have a happy new year. Happy New Year's to you too, Fimbul. Gunfox donates a very generous $150. Thank you very much, sir. Says, Arch, pick a game and Cubes has to play it. Ooh. Also,
no.
Memphis Belle is an old movie and B-17's over Europe. Right, Coyle, what's a game you really don't want to play?
How about we talk about the next piece of entertainment media? He's like, oh, no.
I think you're going to play one of those Agatha Christie hidden object games.
I don't even know what that is. Dinko's in
It's
chat.
a game for very old people.
Quick chat. Throw potatoes at Dinko. She's allergic.
She can't be allergic. She's Scottish. She's basically half potato.
Oh, that's true.
Nolly says, funny you mentioned Kibbs. In Fantastic Beasts, one of the main characters served in the army during World War I, if I'm not mistaken. I never watched Fantastic Beasts. They were...
Me neither.
That's just a weird concept.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them? Firstly, that's a terrible fucking name for anything. That's like, that's not a catchy, like, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find... How about you shut the fuck up?
They don't want to call.
Then when I see a title like that... How about you just go away? I just like the Harry Potter movies, like the first 4 of them, and then like the first 4 books, and the rest I think are bad. Because when Harry Potter grows up, he gets really dumb and gay. And he still whines and whinges, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, Jesus Christ, you beat Voldemort like 30 times. He's not scary anymore. He's not scary. He gets his ass beat by a bunch of children. He's kind of just embarrassing. So I'll get you next time, you fucking kids.
What is the next entertainment entity, Kyle?
Well, let's take a sneak peek. This one is one that I want to be well, but we'll find out. We'll find out. I'll send it to you, Barge. This is one in a genre that's just sort of dead, honestly. Fata Diem is a sort of god game. So, if you're from a black and white or populace, we have another god game on the horizon. It's called Fata Diem. And it looks interesting, but there is just not a whole lot about it. You can be good or evil, and you have disciples and stuff, and they do stuff, and you can influence them. And it's like, okay, that's cool, but like, we need more stuff. Because you play as a god in this game, and there are not enough god games out there.
No, Kib. No. It's made by Hooded Horse. It's going to be good.
Hooded Horse? Who are they?
Well, it's released by them.
That's a publisher.
I don't care.
But you attributed...
Yeah,
Hold on.
No.
So you attributed... You little shit. You're in trouble now. You love Terra Invicta, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, except you're gay and you should probably die. But you attributed credit to the development of the game to the publisher. The publisher gets credit for, funding it and publishing it, but they didn't make it.
They get the credit because they deserve it.
This game is not made by Hooded Horse, it's published, and it's developed by 42 Bits Entertainment. Let's see, what's their track record?
Nothing.
Well, they have nothing. Oh, there's a demo now. Okay, well, I gotta do that later. And you gotta do that too. Put that on your to-do list.
Don't know about that.
He's resisting. Beat him.
What is far more important, Kyle, is that we need to return to the mainstream. You must return to Monkey with Arc 2.
It's gonna flop.
Diesel in it, Kyle.
It's gonna flop. They're focusing on an actor. They're focusing on an actor. Anytime they're... Your dad tells stories? How about you shut the fuck up? There we go. I'm happy again.
It's got Vin Diesel, and Vin Diesel is going to ride a dinosaur, and he's going to be great.
It's gonna be awful.
It's going to be great.
You know it. At least level your expectations so you're not, emotionally distraught for like a month.
It's going to be adorable because Vin Diesel is going to ride the dinosaur and he's going to roar at the screen.
Anytime they put real life actors in video game media, I just hate that.
He's even got like a little side character in there, which is a little furry looking female thing. I hope they have actual furries in this game. That would be fun. You could put them in cages. Actually, even better. So there's going to be bush people in this one. Just make the bush people into the furries, and then you can enslave the furries and wage genocidal war against them. That'd be kind of amusing.
I'm gonna level
say
my
wouldn't.
expectations, because aren't these the same devs that released that pirate game sequel, or was that somebody else? 'Cause that's pretty bad.
It's fine. It's okay. It doesn't matter, Kyle. It'll be good. Accept it.
Chat seems to sway in the favor of Kib for once. It's a rarity, but a welcome.
Great. Chat understands.
Arch looking at him, he's just banning the ones that agree with Kib's like, and that one's gone, and that one's gone. I mean, fair enough, you got to curate the audience. Get rid of those dissenters, as it were.
Botrex Sui says, Gott nytt år, norsk jävel. That's a Swedish person. Right-click banner.
At least thank him for the money before you ban him.
Isegrim the Tenebrae says, Happy New Year, Arch and Kib. I bet you get asked such a lot, but have you ever considered making a video with Kraut? Both of you are really impressive philosophers from Europe. By the way, thanks for all the cool content of yours.
Did he fucking call me a philosopher? Or no,
not you, Carl.
Thank
You're
God.
not a philosopher.
I was about to be insulted. I'm not a faggot.
I don't know about that. I really don't know about that.
Anyone who's a
really
philosopher,
don't know about that.
Philosophers are fags. They're weak, and they're just pathetic. They need to be wiped out, eradicated, exterminated, extinguished, as it were, snuffed
But I know
out.
Kraut. He has connections with Dev, amongst other things.
He knows
Elsie
names.
Serrano says, At Kibbs, thank you for volunteering to come to the family farm, Kibbs. I'll let them know to open up a stall next to Alpha. Hashtag breed Kibbs in Canada. Kyle, why did you agree to this?
I didn't.
Why did you do it?
I didn't do nothing.
Why did you? Kyle has a problem with, tearing his ass open on great challenges. It's weird. Desert Hamster says, Did Shorehead take a name from that scene in The Snowpiercer? Happy New Year, Arch and Kibbles, and I hope you take butt walks like the red guy.
Fucking
I have
Christ.
no idea. That is a difficult question for me to respond to. It is too deep lore. Ripinol says, I loved the zombie advocates in Dead Rising. They kept causing outbreaks and most were eaten. That sounds like what should happen to you if you argue for the zombies being allowed to walk freely in the streets. You sound like you should become a snack.
Waddle waddle.
A screaming snack. A terrified snack. A snack that was never truly a snack to begin with.
Snacky snack.
Artemis Fowl says, No, Kyle. The trans protag's scientist's father, whom Joel kills in the first game, states,
no.
Don't kill me. My son will kill you if you do.
This
Oh
is
my God,
this is
Kyle.
revisionism. This is like
Oh,
that
you
time.
were just owned.
This is like that time when fucking Draconis took the L so hard because he's like, they never said that humans are Forerunner. And then I just pull up that clip from Halo 3 where it's like, where Guilty Spark's like, you are Forerunner. And he's like, get mental gymnastics. It means that he's insinuating. It's like, shut up. Shut up.
Oh, Kyle. I think Sledimus has got you in a corner here.
Slutimus is lying, and he knows he's been naughty. He'll be punished later.
In a corner. What do they call these corners, Kyle? Breeding stalls?
Personally, anyone in a corner is in the fuck corner. Which is you.
Even a worm will turn. Even our kids will turn.
Bullshit.
I was like, that's a saying I don't know. Where's from? Oh, you undereducated snot.
Shut up, slave. Look at him. He's getting snarky. Chat, beat him.
Kyle, since you're being slow, I get to pick the next one too.
Nope, you don't. I'm moving on to mine.
I do.
Nope, it's me. I get to control what's on screen. That one's just mean. We'll wait for that one. This is what we're doing next, Barch. I'm in control now. No one cares about that. That's never coming out. That's been in development hell. Now, look at that.
This is even worse, Scott. This is even worse.
This is just something that's been announced recently, and it's published by Focus Home Interactive and Tindalos Interactive. Or, no, Focus Home Entertainment. We have a
God, I
new
hope it dies.
we have a new strategy game.
Oh, I hope it dies.
It's about aliens, and you get to control a squad of little Marines that are going to get absolutely raped. It'll be wonderful.
Boys.
A strategy horror game could be interesting, like horror
Don't
atmosphere.
know about that.
Yeah, I think so.
No,
maybe.
no, I don't think I genuinely don't think so. No,
What I posted was
No.
infinitely more interesting. What you have, admit it. You agree.
no.
Yeah, that's why
Okay.
you're laughing. Like, yeah,
No, there was
well,
actually the one Space Hulk game, not the newest one, but the older one was actually pretty good, and I gave a little bit of that creeping feeling. But I just don't think that's a good mix. Like aliens and strategy, like who knows? Maybe like it's mildly appealing, but plus the Aliens franchise just does not have a history of good fucking games.
Yeah. The recent Alien game actually didn't turn out too bad. I will say that much. It was actually okay.
It's also Tindalos Interactive. Tindalos is famous for creating almost games. Like, frankly,
Almost.
Tindalos has made some games that were actually pretty cool, right? They made that one space game that came out ages ago, the MOBA space game, that was actually really cool. Never got any sort of success whatsoever.
They made space hardship shipbreakers. That was like one of the most chill
Stellar
games.
Impact.
Wait, no, that's a publisher. Fuck.
Yeah, that's the publisher. You're looking at the publisher now. And no, they made Stellar Impact. Stellar Impact had a really cool idea and some really cool like maneuvery gameplay, but it never caught on, and so it just fucking died. Then they also made Ethereum, which was that strategy game, which also didn't catch on at all and just fucking died. Then they made Battlefleet Gothic, Armada 1 and 2, which are both like
mediocre.
Yeah, pretty much.
They were
and
so
now they're working on
disappointing.
this. Like,
yeah, you might be right. It might be mediocre. I'd love this to be good, but well, a little bit of skepticism. See, Battlefleet Gothic is a name that immediately evokes a feeling of, oh no, like it's those developers. Like the Battlefleet Gothic games were not particularly good. They weren't bad. They just were. I would wish I had never
no
played them.
replayability.
They were boring. After a few minutes.
Who knows? Who knows? But now, more importantly, Kyle, Skull and Bones, Kyle, Skull and Bones, Kyle.
This game has been in development for almost a decade. I swear to God.
I remember the first time I heard about this game was when me and Trader Dog were still on speaking terms.
Oh, you talked to him the other day, you lion sack. And also, Trader Dog...
That's not part of the point.
Trader Dog, by the way, brought this game up again. Like, he always does. Like, it's becoming a yearly thing where he's like, hey, Kip, like, Skull and Bones, it's going to come out for it. I'm like, sure, all right, whatever, go away. This game's never coming out, ever. Like, ever. I swear to God.
I quite like the idea of this game. It's kind of like arcadey World of Warships, but where the ships have a lot more personality, you know? It's intriguing to me. Like, I like the idea, but God even knows if it'll ever come out. And even if it does come out, like, then what? Is anybody going to care?
Yep.
Is anybody going to give a shit, Kyle?
This game
is anybody going to
basically
look over it as it dies?
For context, chat, Assassin's Creed Black Flag was, I believe, the root inspiration for this game, if I remember right. Because, like, let's make a game just completely based upon naval combat and that naval combat system, but expand it. And that's a cool idea, because the combat system is interesting, even though it's extremely arcadey. So, like, maybe you can board each other's ships and you can, like, you know, broadside and maneuver, and some multiplayer, like, naval battles. Like, that could be cool. But, like, at the same time, it's Ubisoft, and at the same time, it's like, this game's been in development for fucking ever.
Oh, yeah. Well, absolute ever. But I don't know, like, I'll definitely try it if it ever comes out, because I like the idea. I do. I just don't know if it'll ever exist in a playable format.
Like, apparently there's a pre-order button. I mean, you know, maybe.
Maybe if you pre-order it, it'll come out at some point. Wasn't that the extortion scheme they used for fucking Beyond Good and Evil 2. Like, if you buy the first one, we might give you this one. I don't think they actually ever fulfilled that promise, Kyle. I think they told people to just get stuffed and then move on with their lives.
Like, thanks for buying this. I hope you kill yourself. It's like, thank you. I really needed it.
Yeah, like, we're very grateful that you threw your money away here.
Dumb bastards. Like, I hate when they do that, too. Oh, my God. Beyond Good and Evil. That's a series I'm not super familiar with, but I know about the fucking person behind that, and he's a fucking potato.
It's a cult classic that people have wanted a sequel for. The problem is, it was a cult classic because at the time, the storyline was really cool and really good. Today, it's nothing special. So I don't think it'll work, but hey, who knows?
You can try. That's also the problem. It's like when we finally got that Duke Nukem Forever game, and it was so mediocre because at the time all those cool physics things and gimmicks were super trendy. Half-Life 2 was one of the big ones with the physics puzzles. You play those games again nowadays, and any of those physics sections that you play, where you have to stack bricks on one end to do a puzzle, like, that's no longer appealing. In fact, if I see a game with that, I'm like, ew, gross.
Gross.
Gross, delete it.
I still have some hope. Maybe it'll be good. Probably won't. But maybe it'll exist. And maybe then, Dorton will also show up and be like, hey, I can be your friend again, so long as you play this game with me. That's a little bit conditional, dog.
A bit.
Rosa is in chat saying she pre-ordered Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. That is indeed a high crime, and you should be punished, most severely.
I think that we should dry Noodle out and then snap Noodle like a twig.
We'll make Noodle blue as well. Yeah, no, that game is not happening. Like, Bloodlines 2? No, that shit's dead.
If you're making Noodle blue, that means we're holding her head under the water again.
Probably, yes. But I think they're still... Alright, hold on. Let me just fucking check out their website here and see if there's been any news at all.
I hope not.
Yes, I was born in 1858 video game. Let's see. The pre-order scheme is still up. They're still using the old screenshots from the game. And they're still got only the old video footage. Let's see. News. Featured article, Bloodlines 2 development update. No. You know what? You know what they've got at the top, Kyle?
What?
They've got those promotional things they did with that one cringy YouTuber chick, the trans chick, I think.
Oh,
that's the newest news on this project.
That's super woke. Like, I do vampire. Oh my god, I love vampire lore so much. Oh my god, and it's like, yeah, sure you do. Sure. Don't care.
An update on the organizational changes of Bloodlines 2, August 19th, 2020. Game dead.
Good.
Dead.
That's what you get for placating the woke crowd, you stupid fucks.
Yep. No. Fuck them. Fuck them hard.
Yeah. Instead of giving the money to those people, you can give them to Barch. Okay.
Fuck them long and violent. Have no safe word when it comes to Bloodlines 2 chat. No safe word at all. Grammaton 3000 says Baal is best god. No, Jesus is best god.
Baal is pretty good. Like, that's a good
Jesus
pick.
is a god, isn't he?
He gets a pass. Baal is good. Barch would like Baal. He's a bit smarmy, though.
Sujard says Jaffa Cakes. Correct. That is their name now. I don't know why Kyle insists on misgendering them.
Oh my god, Dev's still losing his shit again.
Black917 says the elk things are probably just a local animal they use for convenience. No, they are Jaffa. They are the true Jaffa. They are the progenitor race of the Jaffa. Jaffa. They came from bison things in the plains of Long Fuckistan. Kyle dies a little bit inside.
I just, working on doxing Barch real quick. He's like, no.
Line 97 also says that we need O'Neill's self-proclaimed lover Hathor Lover? Hator? Kyle? Gay? Why?
Barch, you're just gonna have to watch the show and find out.
No, I don't need to.
Is there fish in the pond, Barch?
So John says, snake puns are a rare medium well done.
Burn him.
Click.
Bam. Yep, good move.
Hide the user on this channel.
Forever.
Forever with extreme prejudice.
That way none of us must suffer that again.
Report to YouTube, a reason why, racism.
Right, there we go.
I'll take that one seriously, if nothing else.
Ooh, that's a spicy number.
Bortrek Swede donates 500 Swedish kroners. Thank you very much, sir. And says, Gott nytt år, norske fan, och breed kibs. Do breed kibs. Do breed kibs on New Year's Eve. Yes.
Wow, rude.
It is when his butt is the squishiest. Yes. It deforms well underneath the repeated blows. Yes.
Very few things make me physically frown than when Arch talks about this.
Although, frankly, you should have bred kibs 6 months ago so you could have a New Year's kib. Just pops out there like, hello.
It takes 6 months to incubate? Barch, it's only 9 months for a human to incubate.
Yeah, but we're talking about breeding of kibs here.
He's like, you're not human. It takes less time to develop.
Precisely. I think, if anything, 6 months might be a little bit much.
A little too well done.
Elsa Serrano says, Owlcat Rogue Trader Surprise equals Sisters of Battle Futa. That'd be kind of funny. You know, like, I have a secret, mein Capitan. What is it, love interest? I have a penis. Tell me more.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
How big?
Is it bigger than mine?
Like, it's a fucking wine bottle, sir. Like, God. Elsa Serrana decides to follow that one up by saying, Starfield will be the greatest sci-fi RPG porn game of all time once the modders are done with it. Also, I'm burning way too much cash. Oh well. Oh well indeed. To be fair, Oblivion has a solid hentai community. Yes. You can even have sex with the various animals in that video game. It's very libertarian in that regard. Very libertarian.
If it walks, it breeds. Yeah, there you go.
At least somebody's still libertarian, Kyle. Yeah, something. Right, next piece of entertainment, kid. Come on. What's the hold up here? Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for me now?
Yes.
Ready for me to show more game stuff? He's like, just doesn't. Ignores Arch and just deletes him from DMs. Like, Barch, where'd you go, pork chop? There you are. Now this game actually, Barch and I looked at this a while ago, and I was like, meh, like it looks kind of so. But then they released the recent gameplay trailer, and I was like, oh my god, that actually looks really cool. It's like sort of like a tower defense horde game. And I'll play some of the footage.
I do like how Dev in chat immediately caught on to the 6 months incubation time too. Like, kind of inhuman. Good on you, Dev.
Dev is racist.
Just for that, I'm gonna have to raid your channel more often.
Dev, just delete Dev's channel permanently. That'll solve that.
The outpost, Kyle. Fucking outpost.
It actually doesn't look that bad.
Outpost.
See, what surprised me is Arch and I looked at this and I'm like, probably not. And it's like a little bit of an indie sort of survival thing, but like the gameplay looks not too bad. You build like a base, and you got base building, and then you got defended against hordes of stuff.
Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. I like the idea, but it doesn't look good.
Did you look at the gameplay?
I'm questioning the appearance of this.
Are you sure? Like the gameplay footage I look at looks pretty promising. Actually, it actually changed. It made me. I'm still like skeptical about it, but it looks a lot more interesting than I was expecting.
Like the zombies, for example, look like acid flip zombies, and they occasionally just stop moving and depose for a moment.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the coolest enemy I saw in that game was like the fucking like Matrix 3 inspired sort of like swarms where you shoot at them. Yeah. Well, it's they're about the same. The only difference is I think they're organic-y. I'm not quite sure.
I think they are literally the things from Matrix.
But yeah,
Like,
the zombies
no,
look.
if it turns out to be fun, then great. But I just look at it and I just squint my eyes. That's all. Just squint.
But that looks
My
kind of
eyes.
interesting. Next game from Barch.
Mein Augen. Mein Aug. My Little Steyr Aug. A new anime from the creators of.
Where's the crazy game? The one that looks weird.
Look at it, Kib.
Fuck, I'm trying to find it.
Look at it. Look at it, Kib.
Oh, no, that's a game that's never coming. No kidding. Actually, there's a lot more development news on it now. They're finally starting to open up more. They were just keeping things under rugs.
Yep.
Kerbal Space
Supposed to
Program
come
2?
out in February.
Jesus Christ.
Early access, anyways.
Oh, it's not going to have multiplayer on launch. I don't care. I don't think you want to play it when it has multiplayer. And I don't really want to deal with another early access KSB game. I think I'll be waiting for that one.
I very much so sympathize, but
Yeah, you should cover it, like, on the launch up. I'm just thinking for myself, like, I think I'll wait for this one. Because the multiplayer is when I'm going to pick it up.
it's. I also noticed that they say that multiplayer plus explore with friends. Like,
Isn't that what multiplayer is? Like, what do you mean plus explore? Like, isn't that the whole point?
No, plus explore with friends. Like, what do you mean?
That's...
Or do you mean they can only like be on the spaceship or something? They can't launch shit of their own? Like,
Well,
what
plus
does that
explore.
mean?
What does that mean? Explore with friends. Like, as far as my understanding, we each get our like separate space programs. And even if we have to share one, that's whatever. I'll just make sure our budget goes into the ground by putting random shit in orbit around the sun.
Yeah, like I'm hoping there's a multiplayer with both like all of the mechanics, because otherwise that would be stupid.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, we should be able to build, like, even if we have to share, like, the launch pad, I don't care, but, yeah, no, we maybe should be able to get our own separate launch pads. And then we should be able to, do space stuff. And build crazy space things.
Yeah, definitely.
The colony stuff looks interesting, so I hope they actually do something interesting with that.
Yep, I do hope so too. That's the little idea, if nothing else. Plus, Kerbal 1 was interesting. Barbarians are us says, remember Bethesda was quoted stating our current engine allows us to produce and create games faster, just like Elder Scrolls 6 is being released in 2025, 14 years after Skyrim. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Bethesda are a bunch of fucking whoring liars. Literally. Like, there are gold diggers out there that have more honesty inherently inside of their bodies than Bethesda does. Unironically. Bethesda are lying, dirty, filthy whores. Whores, I say.
Oh,
Actually,
goddamn.
you know what? Because here's the thing. If you pay a whore, you probably get what you asked for. If you pay Bethesda, the only thing you're going to get is bugs. And that's usually a negative encounter with a prostitute if all you get is bugs.
Honestly, people just get what they fucking deserve, and people who buy Bethesda games kind of get what they deserve, because they keep believing what Todd Howard says. Hey, oh, this game's gonna be like awesome, you can do all these things, and then Todd Howard lies to them in their face, and they're like, Todd Howard, we make memes, we love you. It's like, well, you get your shitty game, here you go. You get what you fucking deserve.
But maybe it'll be good this time, Kyle. It might be good this time.
I didn't think it was good the last
I think it might be
4
good
or
this
5 times.
I think it might be good this time.
Make-
Elsie Serrano says, Arch needs to poll chat to find out how many of us are jaded old men. Most of you. Jeff D says, the main story for Cyberpunk was very forgettable. The mind-controlled side quest arc was far more engaging, to be honest. Oh yeah, no, I agree. There were actually some really great side quests there. There was one where you were investigating a brain dance club, making just fucking like really horrible, like full-on snuff films, like child snuff. And I was feeling fucking uncomfortable whilst reading through the quest, like, holy fuck, these guys are monsters. Like, it made me feel good about shooting them. But then you arrive at the editing room, and in the editing room there's an old guy and a younger guy who's like, please don't shoot us, like, we're a father and a son, we don't want to do this, but we have to make a living. And I'm like, fuck, this is a horrible fucking universe, isn't it? It's like, okay, so these two people, if you take them at their word, right, they're just two dudes that need to live in this world, and this is the best work they can get. Like, they're not monsters, but they are made to do monstrous things. That was a very cool little plot line there. I was like, okay, that made me think and feel a little bit. There's even the next one where there's in the same area, there's a pacifist dude who gets attacked by a bunch of ruffians, and they beat him up, and they do all kinds of horrible shit to him, and they kidnap his brother. And he comes to you and like, please save my brother, but don't kill them. Like, we're pacifists. We genuinely believe this shit. And you get the option again to kill them all or to save them. And if you kill them all, he doesn't even yell at you. He's just like, I understand why you did that. Like, it's not my way, but I get it. And on the one hand, you can think that that's fucking retarded, because it is. But at the same time, there's something about them just... They explain their beliefs very rationally, you know? They're idiotic, but you understand why they have them. Like, that one fucking area had better quests than the entire rest of the game. I don't understand.
You will understand when you play Cyberpunk 2.
It's kind of dumb. A Chad is just like, I shot him immediately. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Fuck.
Why not? The sense of immersion was
Because,
broken when you
Kyle,
boot that game up. Oh my god. See, my immersion was
that
broken.
just makes you a psychopath.
No, that
just
doesn't make
makes
you,
you
that
evil.
doesn't make you a psychopath.
makes
The
you a
issue is that,
monster.
that the game doesn't have any immersion. Like, the immersion
makes
is
you
broken when you boot that
the
fucker up.
Bad person.
You're just mad because it's a shitty game and you just wanted it to
Makes
be
you
good, didn't you? Now,
A monster.
it's my turn, and I've been saving
You're
this
my
game
monster.
because this game is fucking weird, but it looks fucking cool. I was like, this is a weird game. And I don't really know how to describe what the fuck this game is, because when I first found this, I found this like a year ago when I was following it, and I was like, what the fuck? They're like, you can have massive armies, you're in space, you have a family, you can build stuff. And it's like, you just sort of like random, aren't you, video game? Video game's like, yeah, just random. Don't even know what I am, really. And this game is, I don't know what to say about it, other than the fact that it just intrigues me. Like, there's big, giant space battles, you have, like, ships and stuff, and I can't really tell you what it's about because I have no fucking idea. Like, every time I look at this game, I'm more confused. Like, there's big, giant battles on the ground. There's dungeons to explore and fight in. There's spaceships, and there's just giant mechs and shit. And there are quests, and you can trade, and you have your own ship. And it's actiony, it's colorful, it's vibrant, it's crazy, and it just looks interesting to me. And that's about it. That's all I can really say about it, because I don't know what else to make of it.
You're a weirdo, Kyle.
This game looks interesting to me. I want it.
See, the idea intrigues me. It also does kind of sound like just a throw everything at the fucking wall kind of game.
I want this game. Like, the giant mechas
And that means it's probably
stuff.
going to be shit.
And there's
Because it's a
huge
game that
battles.
tries to do 500 things.
Yes.
And will probably end up doing all of them poorly.
Probably. But I think I'm going to give this game a shot. And I think you should definitely check it out, too. Because it's just like... It's a bit of everything. And it's really just... Like, you can conquer territories and stuff and actually build stuff. And it's just a little bit of everything. And you know what? I'm going to try it because it looks weird.
Skeptical, but maybe.
A lot of people, yeah, I do. Yeah, I've heard that too, Blue Bear. A lot of people say it's kind of like Mountain Blade, but in space. And that intrigues me. Because space is actually something really cool.
I wouldn't mind Mountain Blade in space, frankly.
And so that was one of the little cool weird games I found to look out for. This game will break your heart.
Importantly, Kyle.
This will break your heart if it's bad. Like, I will feel sad for you if this is bad.
It's not gonna be bad, Kyle.
He said, you're not going to be good, good promises.
Yes.
Company Heroes Tree. We're going to play the shit out of this. Because Barch is not going to let me play anything else.
It's gonna be pretty great.
We're going to play the multiplayer a lot. I like the visual look of the recent gameplay footage a little bit more. Well, Barch, what do you want to talk about?
Nothing. It's just a game that exists and it'll be good.
Nothing in particular. Like, I get it. Okay, so I think Bart just said everything he's ever wanted to say. Company Heroes
It'll be
is
great.
I'll say it for chat then. Chat, Barch really likes Company Heroes a lot, and he really likes Relic RTSs, and he just wants this to be a good game. And for him, I hope it's a damn good game. I hope it revives Relic.
It will be good. That's simply how it's going to be.
Does the campaign have multiplayer? Because I kind of hope it does. That'd be cool.
U.S. forces, adaptive and aggressive. That's not wrong. Fat and aggressive, yes.
It's like America attacking randomly whenever we can, artillery our own men because we think it's funny. Like,
I'm still annoyed that they're not going to introduce the Italians as a proper faction, though. It's a bit annoying.
yeah, no, like we need the Italians to have their own fucking army. Like that's an army that never gets explored. Italians, the Hungarians and Romanians of
They
the
need
Axis
some
are ignored.
fucking Japanese, just randomly. They're like, hello. How did you get here? Don't know.
Well, honestly, the color palette, because it's Mediterranean, would actually fit Pacific. So a Pacific expansion pack for this game could be fucking awesome. Wouldn't you think so? Like, think about that. That'd be awesome. I want a Pacific expansion to this. I want this too. I want them to build up Europe and add more stuff. But I also want a Pacific campaign.
There's so many. Like, the thing is, there are so many things about COHD that sound so good, the stuff that we've been asking for forever. Like units at the top of a building having advantage on units on lower elevation, for example, being able to shoot over cover, basically. Great.
Yep.
Breaching mechanics, cool.
Yep.
Dynamic campaign, awesome. Like towable weapons like 88s and big flat guns, great. Like they're full mod support from launch. They're saying all the right things. The question is just if they can deliver any of it. And then there's that one fucking trailer, Kyle, with the random fucking brown woman who's just like my cloth, my piece of cloth,
My fabric, I cut my fabric, there's sand and tanks. It's like, bitch, get out of the way. I don't care about you. I want to look at the tanks.
Like she smells the fabric, Kyle. She's, oh, cloth.
Smells like Uranus. He's like, yes, I did wipe my ass with that. It's like, okay.
And then there's war, and there's tanks and shit, and she's like, my fabric. Even as the Germans just continue firing their guns, like, fuck your fabric.
Yeah, that's honestly,
Got more
it's one
important
of those
things.
stupid, like, artsy fartsy things, and it's like symbolism. It's the fabric. It's her way of life. It's the beauty of it being caught up and lost in this like war, this beyond their control. It's like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Like, this is an RTS game where I blow stuff up. Shut the fuck up, game. Shut the fuck up.
It's such a weird and out of touch trailer that just makes me worried about the entire concept of everything. Like, why would you do this?
Yeah. Why indeed? Man, I hope it's good. And one thing I really liked about this one is that the British Empire faction actually has, like, Empire troops. Like, they have got troops from different regions of the Empire. And that's what it should feel like. Like, the British Empire is scrambling all of the Commonwealth to fight, you know, the enemy. I did like that. I just hope it's... Oh, man, I hope they don't fuck this up.
I hope the Indian troops are going to be like, hobbity, hobbity.
Hobbity, hobbity. Wait, no.
Because it'd be funny.
The Italians need the, what do they call them? The Ethiopian Corps or whatever that they had. That'd be cool. Because they had Empire troops too. What if video game forgets that? What if it's wokest bullshit and they're like, only the Italians and the Germans were racist and the Allies were non-racist. And it's like, listen, do I need to show you the video called The Negro Sailor? Like, that is a World War II video that the Americans made. And it's interesting. You can actually YouTube it. It's a historical piece of record on how people viewed things back then, especially in World War II. We're on the same team, remember?
Even if he's black.
Yeah. I love those World
Listen,
War II
the
things.
British are not as racist as us. They might even
Oh,
treat him like a human being, and you're just going to have to accept that. Like,
They might.
okay.
They might invite them their blackies into the house, and so that's, you got to treat them fairly. And it's like, Jesus.
Like, wow. Well, it's an awfully progressive take there, but okay, if you say so.
Those World War II propaganda things, like the spy one was one of my favorites too. Remember, when in enemy town, because because it's Enemy Town.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how Company of the Blue Cloth fares at the end of the day.
Hopefully it's good.
That is hope, and there's also things to be worried about. Like, they literally, at the end of that fucking trailer, they literally do the single tear rolling down the native woman's cheek thing, and you just want to reach out and slap him. She's like, no, you don't get to do that.
Yeah,
You don't get to.
It's Company
You're not
Heroes. Like, nobody plays Company Heroes and when you're blowing up tanks, doing flanks, and
And
watching
you zoom
cool
in on a
explosions.
random NPC off to the side who's crying, like,
You're just like smiling as
the
you call him.
natural reaction at that point would be like, bombing run, and click.
Click on Mortar Squad, click on Fireball Position, click on Lady, click on Lady. Scroll in, watch her disintegrate.
Woman, you're interrupting my battle.
Have the battle space. You're making my game lag. You're making. Oh my god.
That is cruel, Kyle, and I condemn every word you just said.
Now it's Kib turn. Kib turn. Kib is running out of interesting games that you haven't heard of, though.
Good.
Yeah, there. Found one. Digging at the bottom of the bin. Now, this one. Never mind. Well, I'm posting it anyway. I remember when this said 2023, but I think that is not going to be coming out 2020. Wishlist to be notified. Okay, well, that changed.
Yeah, I'll go Phantom Brigade fucking Mark II, because it does look cool, doesn't
My
it?
ears and chat's ears. Why does Steam do that, chat?
Kyle, why did you do
We're all
that to
deaf.
me?
We're all deaf together. A little bit of blood squirted out. It's okay. I'm sure 3 of chat have lost their eardrums. Some are going belly up. But this one looks interesting. It's a mecha game with, like, time management. It's turn-based, but in time. And so that's how you, like, move your units around and stuff. It looks really interesting, and it looks actually very well polished and thought out. But it keeps getting pushed back development-wise.
Neat style, cool gameplay idea, the destructible environment and the big mechas. All of it looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It might even be cool. Who knows?
I hope it is.
It might not be. Could be, though. Poor horse abused by Chenk says, Happy New Year, Arch. OM Kibbs. Oh. He remembered. He's a good person. So John says,
So just do that
Cyberpunk
again.
2077 flopped because they replaced the good programmers with diversity hires after CD Projekt Red burned them out with The Witcher 3. Well, there was a lot of technical issues with that game as well, that is certain.
I will point out that Witcher 3 is the peak of CD Projekt Red. Right now, it's just going to be downhill forever now.
Probably.
Because the problem is they've infested their own dev team with way too many wokus. Like, it's beyond salvage, in my opinion. The tank is cute. And the crunchy buildings are cute, too.
Grizzly donates a very generous $50 to say, how bad do you guys think a one-hour show by Henry Cavill is going to be? Also, what do you think is the most likely part of 40K's story to be adopted? The Fall of Cadia, 30K Horus Heresy, beginning of the 8th edition, and Primaris, or something new? I hope it won't fail, for Cavill's sake. GW can fuck themselves for all I care. Like, I have no sympathy left for GW. But I want to see Cavill do well. And if anybody can do well with 40K, it is Cavill. The problem is, I think they're probably going to do, like, Belisarius Call, basically. Like, Indomitus Crusade or something like that. And that's probably what they're going to do because they want to show off Primaris. It's going to make the game worse, objectively so. And they're going to do it regardless because they don't care. They just want to show off their gay-ass Primaris. Nobody likes them.
Yep. Sad.
And it's awful. And it's tragic. But we'll definitely watch it. And if it's bad, I'll yell at GW. And I'll call Cavill a good boy, and I'll rub his head. And blame everything on GW. Again.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Simple.
Honestly, GW can take the blame for really anything at this point.
Mm-hmm. The
Justifiable.
death of Jesus Christ, among other things.
They probably were responsible. Like, in the background, it was actually GW that did it because they're like, we're gonna copyright fucking crosses.
Blade says, Happy New Year, Arch and Kibbs. Looking forward to more awesome content. Once again, more pencils for Kibbs. Widen him. Widen him, chat.
Wow, rude.
His urethra can take yet further. Fanny44 says, I am looking forward to Falling Frontier. That one also looks kind of good. I think that's more Hooded Horse, isn't it? I think so.
Publisher. They're the publisher.
Yep, it's Hooded Horse.
Want me to pull it up?
Urethra widens in rage.
Pull it up then, Barch. Give it to me now.
No, they didn't pay me.
Wow. None of these guys paid us, yet we're covering.
You don't know.
So it's like, I could have. It starts breaking down.
Pure Stress says Kibbs should breed Arch. He's too small.
Plat, 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 plat. Well, that's not my problem. That's your problem.
Skunk says, Happy New Year's, 2 hours late. If there is a silver lining to the past year, it's that apparently my Liber Cortica is now worth its weight in silver. Yeah, because it can't be fucking reprinted anymore.
All that's left in
See,
circulation.
my old version is too battered. Like, the entire back of it's missing. Like, it's been read too much, poor thing.
You bastard. You damaged it.
I've read it so many times. So on the lit says, Feliz Anno Nuevo, Arch. That means Happy New Year, and Beard Kibbs. Hope you can reach out to Midnight's Edge for collab on Cowls 40k. Do it, don't be a philosopher like the cat trap. That's the anti-vax and cap cat trap to you, sir.
Wow. This is getting out of hand.
And John McCalla. Felt like sending you some money, so I might as well take this opportunity to tell you I dug a hole. That is all. Well, as long as you don't get buried in it.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Remember, he who digs holes for others has sex with animals. Eliphas says, Happy New Year, Arch and Kibbs. More Anno, please. Kyle is at fault for that. He's gay and he's slow and he never manages to match up everybody's schedules and he should be beaten vociferously.
Literally, it's the holiday. But yes, we will be resuming Anno at the beginning of next week.
Are we restarting, Kyle? We're restarting, aren't we?
I mean, you want to? We basically beat this one. We could do another round. Anno's fun.
Can I have only if fucking Fairman gets to not have the island? I want to punish him, Kyle. He's too fucking full of himself now.
Are we gonna switch islands so like
I don't like him, Kyle.
Be nice to little Fair Bear.
No, I refuse.
He's like, I hate Fair Bear.
Yes.
Fair Bear's in chat. You're hurting Fair Bear's feelings.
Good.
See, how many in chat even understand the cult of Fair Bear?
Rosa says, Feliz Anno Nuevo means Happy New Anus. Good. Kyle needs a new anus after all the pencils.
I thought that was for the urethra. Make up your damn mind.
Both at the same time. Spit roast, Kyle.
Wow.
See, okay, we could do Anno, but we need to bring along like Dev and all of our other friends, like Rosa. Rosa can play it. She can be on Fairman's team. Fuck you, Fairman.
I don't think that game would click well with either of them. Anno is a very particular... If you're into city builders and production chains, you'll love it. But if it doesn't click well, and you can definitely check it out, Rosa, Anno 1800's on Steam. But it's a acquired taste, is what I'll say.
Feliz Navidad means also you're gay, I think.
Feliz Navidad. I forget how the song goes. It's time to start singing
crush
Christmas
your
songs.
testicles.
It's Christmas time.
Artemis Fowl sends $1488 and retracts his message because he's a coward.
No, read the number exactly. That wasn't $48.
No, $1488. I read it.
Oh. Bart, you said the number.
That's fine, because I didn't say what it meant.
Okay.
So John says, update on the Troon writer for Space Marine 2. I think they're still there. I think.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
But they're not the lead writer. They claim to be the lead writer, and then they were like, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. How do you mistake that? Like, how do you be like, oh, I wasn't the lead writer after all? Weird.
That is weird. I've never had... See, in all my years of doing indie dev stuff and seeing other teams, no one's accidentally been like, oh, I'm not the lead... I'm the lead artist. Oh, silly me. I'm not the lead.
Silly me.
Like, that is like, you're starting shit. There's some internal fucking shit going on there. Like, there's some internal drama inside that studio, I swear to God.
Quite possibly. Right. Last few games are all mine, Cal, because we gotta wrap up at some fucking point.
No.
Yes, Diablo 4, Kyle. Diablo fucking 4. Will it be great, Kyle? Will it be magical, or will it simply just be an enormous microtransaction fucking hellhole?
Don't know. They should get
I think
Kratos to
the
play
latter.
the bad guy. They get Christopher Judge, and I might buy it. Get
I
Christopher
hate
Judge.
the new cast too, because it's the diverse shit. So the barbarian is black dude, druid generic white dude, necromancer edgy brown chick, rogue another brown chick, sorcerer yellow chick. It's like,
You know, I was hoping.
and all of them. Okay. Here's the other thing too. All of them look fucking boring.
They do.
Like they look so fucking generic. God,
But the next thing I have to ask is, why don't they let it, like, let's be honest here. The characters in the Diablo story aren't very interesting. They never really have been too much, besides, like, Deckard Cain and a handful of others. Like, what they should do, and I've never read the book, so I can't vouch for them. But I heard some good things about the books. But why don't we just have a character creator?
Because that'd be gay too.
Apparently.
After Diablo 3,
It's probably not going to be good. But we're going to stream it, Barge, because we have to. We don't have a choice.
It's gotten too much Blizzardy at this point for me. Like it's just a Blizzard entity. It's not Diablo anymore. It's Blizzard video game 4.
See, your mistake is seeing Blizzard as this thing that's been making things still. Blizzard's been dead for fucking years, my dude. It's Activision, wearing the husk and face mask of a skinned Blizzard. Blizzard's been dead for eons. Like, there's still people that we like and know in Blizzard, but they don't have any power and control. The only people in charge there are Activision. And they've been in charge for way too long. They've run that company into the ground. Blizzard was literally a beacon for gaming. Now they're just a sad little potato.
They used to be a bacon. Now they're just the potatoes.
Yeah, and would you rather have like a, dried up, shriveled up, moldy potato, or a nice, crunchy piece of bacon?
Yeah.
Big thinkies. Big decisions.
Black 917 says, spicy art is spicy. And Adoman says, VTube Gibbs. That will happen in the new year. He has agreed to it. He will be a VTuber. A brony one.
For the right price, anything's possible.
Tim Riggs says, Oblivion is a pale shade of the utter degeneration available in Skyrim modding. It's magnificent in its devotion to Slanesh. Almost perfect. Hey, to Bethesda's credit, at least they just allowed that shit to keep going. I can imagine many developers would have actually tried to suppress that nonsense, because some of it is some fucking heavy-duty shit, bro. Yeah. Again, any modding scene that allows you to try and bang your dog is something that many developers would look at with a raised eyebrow or 7.
Or 7.
So John says, my favorite quest in CP 2077 was the one with the guy with an augmetic dong. He's the guy who said GG supporters should be doxxed. I loved ignoring him till it exploded. Okay. I didn't see that one, but I would probably have allowed him to explode too. Manny Parade sends a high five. High five, my dude. And Artemis Fowl says, Kibbs casually drops the N-word not to stream. He does do that frequently.
Oh, Mr. Chinky Winkies. You say Chinky Winkies in mine. And that's not even the worst.
But Chinky Winky's not a slur.
He's like, the Chinky Winkies. I'm like, the what now? The Chinky Winkies. It's like, okay.
They winky with their chinky.
Listen, this channel, see, Arch is holding his tongue here. He's been holding his tongue all along. On my channel, Barch, oh, he's going to get me banned. It's only a matter of time. I'm hanging on for dear life.
We can only hope. Nicholas Quitterstoff says, Arch, bad news. They designed some creative assembly for COH3. Just look at those CA brand bullet trails. This makes me sad. It's almost like looking at Dawn of War 3. Ah, Dawn of War 3. What a fine video game that was.
No. Oh, that game was awful.
It was a terrible knockoff. Okay. We'll, God, I mean, okay, we kind of mentioned Armored Core, which it's too early to really get excited about, so
yeah, it's too
that's
early.
just kind of a...
I'm skeptical on that one because they said things like it's gonna be like Dark Souls. I'm like, but that's not Armored Core, though. You retards.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about that. There's also Atomic Heart, which I'm mildly interested in, but
Oh,
we'll
I
see.
forgot to put System Shock there. Barch needs to play System Shock, chat. He's scared of
I
it
don't
for
know
some
about
reason.
that.
He will. You'll make him. You'll bully him. I believe in you.
Khalifa K says, "Hello, Arch and Gibbs. Happy New Year. Robert Conquest's second law, like the slippery slope, is an undefeated champion. It states thus: any organization not explicitly and constitutionally right-wing will sooner or later become left-wing." That does appear to be a little bit of the truth, yes. The slide ever progress words. Anon says, "Imagine the trailer for the comes out, drop pods failing, Henry Cavill, bolt guns firing, is assuming a Mark 7 helmet, Commander Shadow's on. Electric guitars blast a CG stealth suit, crushes the Marine with Cavill's face painted blue poking out." Oof, that's no. No, that's a boycott right there. It's a boycott. Space fucking tower.
You like Tao, don't you?
Oh, Nunchi says, "Improve FPS by conducting Geneva wishlist activists. Decrease the civilian population to decrease memory consumption." The World Economic Forum's official plan there for the new year. Black Knight 17 says, "Fairbear is the fairest bear. He does nothing wrong. He does. He hogs islands, and he gets nuked."
He hogs on. Fairbear builds at the pace of a potato. He's super slow. Like molasses is what he is. Slow.
And refuses to ever build a navy.
He's like,
We need
"Fairbear
harder,
down."
like the game, we need to have more and harder AI so that our little dudes there get properly gangbanged. They need to be broken. That's what needs to happen.
He just sit there. It's like, I'm joking. Like, hey.
Stand by as the AI gang up on them. Start bombing their cities into the ground.
Start joining the AI, beating them.
What should we have done, Fairbear? Should we have built more ships? No. Miles says, "You definitely need to check out a guy called Roll Corruption Arch. He does a lot of Warhammer Fantasy RPG campaigns using Foundry. Looks really interesting. It might even give you some ideas. Maybe. And Grammatron 3000. "I'm looking forward to House Flipper 2, unironically. Also, Happy New Year's." See, I can absolutely see the charm in those games where you just do basic bitch tasks for a while, and then you get a score, and then you see your money increase. Like there's a core principle in there that's nice, simple, and easy to embrace. You know.
Hard Space Shipbreakers was that for me. It's like you just
Yes.
take apart ships slowly, and that's all you do, and it's actually very relaxing.
Yep. And just to bring everyone back down to earth before we close off here, there's another TV show coming out next year. It's not Iron Man, it's Iron Heart.
Oh no!
The ship knockoff.
We're gonna cover that.
We probably are, Kyle. We probably are.
There's no probably. We're doing it.
Because, again, remember, fantasy might be dead, and science fiction is following suit, but it still needs its nail in the coffin, and who knows? Ironheart might just be it. Ah, God, Ironheart.
Now, more importantly than this shitty show, you've got more pressing things to read. Arch's eyes just close. He's like, I can't see. Read.
No.
I know you didn't ban the Swede.
No,
There he
he's
is.
Swedish.
He's Swedish.
He
Look, he
probably
gave
likes
you
Riri Williams.
1,000 copies of Sekiro. He's like, wow. show me
1,000 Sekiro. Thank you very much, Brotrek Swede. Here's for using Adblock for 7 years. Happy 2023. Here's for using Adblock for 7 years. Oh God, I need to read it 3 times. You Swedish piece of... Happy 2023. Here's for using Adblock for 7 years. Happy 2023. And then the icon limit kicks in.
It does.
Thank you very much, my dude.
Very generous.
Very generous indeed. And with that we're finally through. some of our best picks of entertainment for the upcoming year. And to be fair, now it's actually looking like a halfway decent year. Not on the video game or the not on the TV show front. No, God no.
Yeah, the
But
video
on
games look
gaming,
good.
yeah, there's some titles here. There's
A
some
lot of
titles.
interesting titles with very weird but interesting ideas.
Yeah, there's some titling. There's definitely some potential stuff, and maybe, who knows, Henry Cavill will blow us all away. Or maybe he will be blown away. Maybe he will be sexist on set. Who knows?
We can only hope.
We can only hope. He institutes a new rule. Every time some female on set, or male for that matter, gets a point of lore wrong, he just grabs their ass. Looks them in the eye as he does so. What have we learned?
Makes a honk noise as he does honk honk.
No. Carries around a little horn to do that, like honk honk, so that everybody else on set knows too that person just fucked up.
It's like, well, he just grabbed her ass. Just now? Yeah, that's what the honk seems to signify.
That's what the honk means. It means he did a dumb. Name and shame them, Henry. Name and shame them. And finally, Black917 says, one of you should reach out to PewDiePie and get him on. Okay, Kyle, that'll be your job.
He'll never fucking waste his time.
That doesn't matter, Kyle. You have to reach out now.
Like,
you're going to have to try.
Like, honestly, like, fuck. Well, if you're that big as a
send him a DM, you know? Send him a DM. Just send him a DM. Like, yeah.
So he can call me, like, he'll just, like, go kill yourself. I'm like, oh, fair enough.
Hey, honestly, if he does that, that'll be good content in and of itself, okay?
Be like, hey, PewDiePie told me to kill myself. What can you say? Be like, well, you know, I didn't get that response. You know, we're moving up in the YouTube chain of command here.
We absolutely are. Very well, chat. Kyle will reach out to PewDiePie. I'm sure that'll work well.
I'll try it on Twitter.
Problem.
I'll try it on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. See how many tweets we can get. It's not gonna work.
You know, okay. Do it every day for a year. I'm sure he'll notice it.
I'm sure I'll just end up blocked at some point. Oh my god.
It was worth Kyle's time, if nothing else.
It's
and
better.
all the way at the end says, a poor horse abused by Cenk says, Swedes, Dutch are inferior to Norway's. Good. Good, intelligent horse. Smart horse. And now we can finally wrap up. Thank you all very much for watching. Happy New Year's, everyone. Let's hope that 2023 will be a gentler, kinder, and more loving year than all the previous one before it. And, of course, I will see you all again many times in 2023. As Black sneaks one last in there to interrupt my fucking outro. Black. It says, he's actually a pretty cool guy and might just say yes. You hear that, Kyle?
You might, but the problem is I imagine there's other pretty cool guys reaching out to him too. It's always worth a shot, but you never know. You never know.
Until next time, everyone, thank you all for your super generous donations, and we'll see you all again soon. Till then, have a good day.
Goodbye.